Good morning, gearheads. Welcome to Sunday, and welcome to the Blind Mike Project.
Charge!
Go to blindmike.net for all things Blind Mike. But I want to talk to you today about toes. No, not the prominence of camel toes. No, not the excruciating pain of hammer toes, but the sheer gluttony of one steel toe.
Streamlabs, PayPal, Super Chats, Rumble Rants.
So thanks to SteelToe for keeping the goal alive, because we don't know how.
Enough of the jibber jabber, boys and girls. Let's get down to business.
And now for your host, a man who keeps it together like a bathtub in a tornado, Blind Mike Geary.
Oh, very exciting. We're talking toe today, gang. And we're celebrating SteelToe today. I'll get into that in a minute, but real quick, before we get into today's events, I do want to say, rest in peace to the great Lyndon Byers. I was sad to hear of his passing yesterday. If you don't know LB, he was a NHL defenseman, a typical goon. Like, if you think of an NHL goon, that was LB. That was LB's role with the Bruins, the Sharks. I don't know who else he played for, but those are the two prominent teams he was on. But also he was a Boston radio personality for a long time. And I got to meet him a few times. I had a few hilarious interactions with him. He was a wild guy. He was a bizarre man. I remember when I worked on the street team for Entercom, there was a rule, like we would do a lot of alcohol-sponsored events. And like beer distributors or those people, like their version of a street team was always drinking at their events, and they would always offer us beers. And there was a rule we could absolutely never take them. And the story was, I don't know how true this was, but the story was that a street teamer once did an event with Lyndon Byers and got drunk and mouthed off to LB. And LB taught him why that was not a good idea, I guess. So the rule changed forever. The street teamers could not drink while they were on the job, which is probably a smart thing ultimately. But I had LB on Trash Talk back in the day, and this is when I could see a little better, so I was a little more aware of my surroundings. And I was talking to him. He was nice enough to do the show, and I was talking to him, and I was asking him a question, talking just the way I am now. And as I'm talking, I realize he turns away from me. And I thought, that's a little rude, but I'll soldier on, whatever. And then I hear a very familiar crack. And he's just opening a Bud Light mid-interview and hiding it in case any radio executives walked by the glass. So LB was the man. He lived a wild life. So rest in peace to a great one. Sad to hear him go, but the man lived, plain and simple. So just wanted to say that before we start. But we are paying tribute to life here today because LB's not the only one who figured out how to live. Aaron Imholte has figured out something so masterful that I felt it was important to dedicate the entire program to him today. That's all we're talking is SteelToe today. So if you're not interested in the life and times of Aaron Imholte, buzz off, hit the bricks, because that's all we're talking about today. So it might be a little shorter show. I figure a holiday weekend, but also I do want to let you know part of the reason we're doing a shorter show today is because we've got another episode coming on Tuesday with Kaylee. You may know her as Lucy Tightbox of WATP. But Kaylee will be joining me to discuss the Ethan Klein versus Hassan Piker, or I guess not Hassan Piker, much to Ethan Klein's chagrin, but Ethan Klein versus Hassan Piker's Orbit, as they're calling it. The big lawsuit that's going on. I'm very interested in this lawsuit. Casey Day and I may end up disagreeing on some of the points in this lawsuit, so that'll be interesting.
Very malleable, Mike. You can change my opinion.
I think I have some good points, but we're treating it more like a Why You Laughing. We're going kind of point by point through the goings on in this lawsuit and Hassan and Ethan's relationship and everything. And I was on with Kaylee a few weeks ago, and we were talking about Stuttering John threatening to sue Carl and Shuley again, which that went nowhere, by the way. Where's that?
Nope. It was a cease and desist letter, Mike.
I guess we're just done with that. They can keep talking about him, and it's no big deal, I guess. Mm-hmm. So Who could have thought that would go nowhere? But I was talking to Kaylee about that, and I thought we had a good time. It was very interesting to hear her perspective on things. And so I thought she would be good to do this show with. And she has offered to grab clips. I nearly teared up when I heard that. I thought I don't have to. I don't have to timestamp. That's amazing. So it was very nice.
Thank you.
It's not like working with Craig, you know.
Well, we love you, Craig.
But yeah, so look for that Tuesday night, 8 p.m. on this channel. Check that out if that interests you. The Ethan Klein lawsuit, which I think could have massive implications for a channel like this and many
All of
others
us.
that you guys are interested in.
Every streamer will be affected by this, much like every streamer was affected by Ethan's lawsuit 10 years ago. This guy, every 10 years, he affects us.
He's prolific.
He is.
So go to blindmike.net if you want to make sure you get updates on that. Subscribe to this channel so you know exactly when we go live. You get reminders. See all our videos pop up. And if you like, subscribe, comment, it helps more people find this channel. So if you're one of those people that says, Mike, this channel's underrated. Nobody watches this fucking thing, but I think you do a fine job. It's a hurtful comment to me, but I think you mean well. So subscribe, damn it. And spread the word. Help if you like and comment. Supposedly, it pushes the videos out to more people. So go do that. Subscribe wherever you get podcasts, Apple, Spotify, what have you. Those links are at blindmike.net. And you can become a member and get early access and bonus content. We just did a Why You Laughing about Harvey Picard on David Letterman. We've done Sam Hyde versus Tim Heidecker recently. Those will be out in a few months. But if you want them now, become a member on Patreon or YouTube for as little as $5 a month. We appreciate you guys that do that. And,
one thing, real quick, Mike, if I can ask the chat a little help today, because I'm not as good as Craig at picking the titles, and so I figured it might be fun to have a little title contest. So if you hear anything good for a title, let Mike and me know.
It is fun.
Yeah, it is fun, right? A little more. I'm bad at it, and
pick the title for today's episode.
Yeah, help us out with that, please. Just put it in the chat. We'll try to find it, and if Mike likes it, boom, we'll credit you in the description.
What a little contest we've got for you guys today. And also after the show at 1 p.m. today, Casey and Electra and the other guy will be doing Unboxing Eric.
The other guy. I love that. I'm going to... Yes.
What's his name?
Luigi.
Yes.
It's
I
episode
know that.
50.
I knew that. It's a little bit I do. I knew his name.
Yes. I forget it sometimes too, Mike. It's episode 50, Mike. We made it to 50, and we are at Kendra. The first time the name Kendra is used in a call, so it will be exciting. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, so look for that. We appreciate you guys supporting us. And now, the other thing you can do, I should mention this. If you go to blindmike.net and support this show, the other thing you can do is negotiate with me on how much content I do, how long my content is. You guys deserve a say in that, because if I'm going to do show prep, I need your money. So you have to pay me in order to do a show. It's not that I do a show and hopefully you guys pay me because you like it. No. This is a relationship where you pay me and you have negotiating rights. A great man has taught me exactly how to do that, and his name is Aaron Imholte of the SteelToe Morning Show. That's right. Charge indeed. We are getting into what I think is the greatest saga in goal history. Now, last year, we mocked the goal. Last year, I sat here and, I played sort of a character, kind of mimicking the goal and all of its, what I found at the time to be ridiculous ways. But Aaron has taught me something, because a man rode in on a white horse, and that man went by the name of Steven. Steven gave Aaron $800. That's that's last we left you on the Blind Mike project. We also did a bonus show where we got a little into it. We talked about Owen Benjamin and then a SteelToe Monday update. So if you want to go see what SteelToe is up to Monday, check out the bonus episode. But then I noticed something happening throughout the week, something truly magical. And that is that Aaron Imholte inspired the SteelToe crowd, the Toe Boys, to not just pay for today's goal, but let's get ahead. Let's get ahead of this thing, so we don't have to worry about the goal for days to come. And I said, this is genius. And I wanted to get ahead of something in my life. I said, you guys may know, I now have a mortgage to pay for. Officially started paying this mortgage. And I said, man, it'd be nice if I could get ahead of this thing. So today, I didn't tell Casey Day this, so we don't have a graphic for it, unfortunately. But today's goal is $600,000. Because, boy, I'd like to get ahead of this mortgage. And if you guys could give me $600,000 today, that would go a long way in me getting ahead of this. Because if SteelToe has taught me anything, we're all in this together, baby. So if we collectively could get ahead of this pesky mortgage I'm going to have to pay for, oh, that would be great. And that would free me up to make so much content for you guys. So what do you say? Don't be shy. Get in there. Wherever. PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants, Streamlabs, which I've still never heard anyone contribute to. But you can do it. Be the first. Get on Streamlabs and help us hit the goal. It's $600,000. 5s and 10s are appreciated, but don't be afraid to throw more in there. So what do you say? Let's move. And now, as filler, while we work our way up to that 600K, we're going to watch a little Aaron Imholte, shall we?
Absolutely. Mike, they're coming in $2 at a time. We're going to be here for years.
No, you know what's hilarious? If you guys all gave me $2. If 300,000 of you gave me $2, we'd be laughing till the cows come home. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Oh, okay. We're our first clip here is called Easy Listen.
Hey, that's what I think every day when I'm listening to SteelToe.
That I have to say right now, I love no-goal shows. They feel like old radio shows.
Yeah, it's more fun. We don't do anything. We just fuck around.
Hey, Johnny, hold off. I have to say this to Casey and Craig sometimes. Until you know where he's going, keep that trap shut, Buster. Johnny pipes right in and goes, "Oh my, it's terrific without the goal. Oh, what assholes we looked like when we had the goal." Johnny, I don't know if you know where the boss is going. Just hold off, my friend.
Sometimes you can be too supportive, too quick.
Yes.
I will say, well, I don't want to say we don't do anything. I mean, that's not, I don't want to take that cat out of the bag.
But excuse me.
But I do love it because, like, some people, they've started the running gag, and I like the running gag where they're like, if like any segment seems flat, or if any segment, like, I don't, like, sometimes you can tell, like, I really thought this segment was going to be something, and I didn't I spent like maybe 7 minutes on it, where I maybe thought I had a half hour on it, and it'll kind of drag at the end, and people be like, "Oh, this is what he does when there's no goal. Way to go, guys. Good job." But then, you know, when the show is very good, and it's just a fantastic little listen, especially, you know, kind of my goal on this holiday week is to give people a nice and easy listen.
Oh,
Right.
That's why the show sucks. To make it easier on us. That's very sweet of him. I would hate for it. This is a holiday week, Casey, you know? And I like to kind of let the whole week wash over me. I take the whole week to really marinate, you know? I relax on a holiday week. It would bum me out so much if I put SteelToe on and he was doing like a really good segment. Like that I'd be like, fuck. My whole week is gone to shit now because this asshole, this inconsiderate prick is putting on an entertaining podcast. Here I was relaxing, and this guy's making me not just laugh, but also think at the same time.
Turn off the barbecue.
Oh, he's a son of a bitch, this Aaron Imholte.
He's good today. Can't have fun. God damn it.
Guys, let's all go home. Put your beers away. We need to be sober for this. Yeah. Because Aaron's putting on a good show. Out of the pool right now.
Because we don't want any serious shit before we go out and have a fun time on the 4th.
Right. Like, I don't want, you know, Jews and Muslims killing each other.
They're going to do that anyway. It can wait till next week.
Yeah, exactly. Like today, there's a little RFK Jr. Fauci stuff, but it's only because and I know this is stupid. I know I'm being an idiot, but it's hopeful.
Hold on. I'm sorry. Is Aaron suggesting that news takes the week off on the 4th of July?
Nothing to see here, Mike.
Just like things happening go on pause. Like if anyone has anything interesting, they're like, don't let that out yet.
Yeah.
Hey, New York Times, TMZ, don't report on this thing because it's almost the 4th of July. We're only 3 days away from the 4th of July. Nothing interesting can happen worth talking about.
Not at all.
And
Okay.
I want to talk about the hopefulness of, like, RFK Jr. wants to hold basically a.
It's very exciting. Whatever he was about to get into, I'm sure was really exciting. He wants to talk about the hopefulness.
I only see him talking about RFK when he's not talking about goal, Mike. Are they related? Are RFK and goal related somehow?
All right, so I'm listening to this. This is Tuesday's morning show, I believe. And I'm listening to this, and I'm thinking, thank God. I don't have any work to do as a SteelToe fan. Because if Aaron Imholte has taught us anything, as toe boys, which I believe I am now one of, if Aaron Imholte has taught us anything, it's fucking work to listen to this show. And that's what you have to remember. But Aaron has blessed us and said, like, hey, take the week off, guys. And I think, all right, that means I guess I'll close my wallet. But then I start to hear some things in Aaron, and I think, uh-oh. Maybe he was being a little too... Aaron was taking the burden off of us and putting it on himself, as any good leader does. But I said, I can't let my guy do that. I'm going to have to participate in this. So let's hear as the week progresses. We learn Aaron was being coy. It wasn't as easy as it all seemed.
Yeah, he's got new rules for us in Rules of the Week.
Hey, can I tell you something? Like, this might sound like, hey, it's a podcast. Why would there be so many rules? I say thank God, because as a toe boy, I need a little structure in my life. And I'm just going to be, if Aaron doesn't set some boundaries for me, God knows what I could be doing. I could, if left to my own devices, you might find me off with family and friends. When I should be listening to SteelToe and thinking of ways that I personally can better Aaron Imholte's life. So please, Aaron, give me some structure here. Give me a reason to live.
Their knuckles do not scrape the ground.
Okay.
We are on tomorrow's goal, tomorrow morning. So
Nice.
We have this rule that if we stay ahead on the goal, I will do a show Thursday morning, and we will do a Rumble Friday, Thursday show. We
This
did
son
a
of a
members
bitch.
only last.
Rumble
This-
Friday, Thursday show.
This generous son of a bell, we'll get there.
How is that even physically possible?
Well, it's the branding of Rumble Friday that's so important. Yeah, I'll explain in a moment. But first, I want to acknowledge that, thank God, Aaron is putting some structure around an otherwise laissez-faire week. You know, I thought I was just going to kick back with an umbrella drink, but Aaron has put some ground rules down, which I appreciate as a man that needs stability in my life. I'm a child of divorce. You know, it's good for me to have some regularity that Aaron has provided. But yes, you bring up an interesting point, Casey. The Rumble Friday, Thursday show. That's kind of like SNL 50 was on Sunday this year. But they still call it Saturday Night Live, you know?
Mm-hmm.
If you're scrolling through the channels, you see Saturday Night Live is on NBC. And that's because of brand recognition. You know, if someone says Sunday Night Live, it doesn't make any sense. We've gone 50 years of knowing what SNL is. So even if it's on a different day of the week, we know what we're talking about here. Rumble Friday is now so in the zeitgeist. It's so mainstream and just part of the vernacular that people are like, hey, just so you know, this week's Rumble Friday is on Thursday. And everyone gets what we're talking about. You couldn't just say, I'll do a Rumble Thursday show, because people will be like, what the fuck is that? Rumble Thursday? Never heard of it. Oh, you mean Rumble Friday is on a Thursday this week. Now I get it. Now we can all participate in what the masses know as Rumble Friday. Now finally we get it. It's not just an asshole trying to brand something that no one gives a fuck about. It's a real thing. Because if Aaron doesn't do it, we're still all going to say, like, it's just kind of part of the lingo. If you're a SteelToe fan, you're like, even if you're watching on Thursday, you know, it's a Thursday, but you're like, oh, we got a Rumble Friday show, you know? It's just part of how you talk.
Last night after the evening show, I'll do a members only. So that would mean tonight and Wednesday, if we keep knocking out goals tomorrow morning, I will do members only on those days as well for a half hour each.
So a
Oh,
Rumble
oh,
Friday,
really?
Wednesday? We get a Rumble Friday, Wednesday? I mean,
We get a Rumble Friday, Wednesday. We get a members only half hour. Now, maybe we've pointed this out before, but it really struck me this week when I heard Aaron lay out his ground rules. The idea of saying, hey, if you guys give me money, like, hey, everyone, throw in the pot from $1 to 10,000, whatever you're comfortable with, whatever you can afford, any donation counts. But if you guys pay me, we will do a broadcast. And that broadcast is for members only. And let me explain to the layman what that means. That means only the people that are already paying get that broadcast. So if you pay me money, you can then pay more to see another show.
got it. Okay.
When it's like, Aaron, you've already done 4 hours. What more could you have to say? And you might think, well, obviously he's saving his best for last. I will point you to an earlier clip where Aaron said, we're mailing it in, baby. It's July 4th week. There's nothing to talk about. We're just going to say words until we hit a certain amount of money. I should also explain this. I neglected to really get into the nitty gritty of the rules. When he says stay ahead, let me explain what that means. I alluded to it earlier. Our Lord and Savior Stephen donated $800 last week. That covered us what I thought was through Tuesday. Turns out that wasn't necessarily the case. I think the evening show had to pick up a little slack. There's a lot of nooks and crannies when you're
Fucking
looking through
evening
the
show people. I hate those guys.
Well, the evening show, they really dangle their wealth over our heads. They're always taunting
do.
us in the evening. They always give so much, and we morning folk can't afford it. Which, by the way, Aaron made that evening show members only. So to all of you that enjoy the show for free and wanted to thank Aaron for the free content, well, you got to subscribe to see the evening show.
Makes sense. Yeah.
But Steven got us ahead to a degree. Now, Aaron's saying, what if we stay one day ahead for the rest of our lives? And this is where, may I pay tribute to a genius. If we pay all this man's bills forever, then he won't have to worry about bills. So let's get in there. Let's get 2 or 3 days ahead. What do you say? And then Aaron will be living on Easy Street for the foreseeable future. I think it's brilliant.
So keep knocking them out. We're 3:05 away from tomorrow morning. So basically, we got about 500 in goals left, and we got 4 shows to do it. So it's not
too hard.
It's a pretty easy one. And if we knock out tomorrow evening, by the end of tomorrow morning's show, I'm going to do a show Thursday. Like I said, if we finish ahead.
Now, if this is confusing to you, you're a fucking moron. Let me tell you. You're a goddamn idiot. If you don't listen to podcasts and think, all right, how much do I owe this guy? It gets frustrating because if I listen to Tuesdays with Stories, let's say, Joe List and Mark Normand, they never tell me how much money I owe them. And then I have to do the calculations. I have to talk to my accountant, and then he's got to do all kinds of work. It's exhausting. Aaron is being very generous here, where he's giving us all the math on what we owe him right up front. And he's like, hey, today, let me look at today's books. You guys are in the clear for Tuesday. So if you want to do a little housekeeping on your end, tomorrow, Wednesday, you're going to owe me $305. That's what you owe me for tomorrow. So what do you say you get ahead of it now? Why procrastinate? Because you're going to look like an idiot. If tomorrow comes and you're like, fuck, I forgot to pay Aaron. And now your bills start to pile up. Then your less important things like your electric bill and your heating bill and your rent or your mortgage, whatever. Then these things start to pile up. And you're like, but I've got to pay the tow first. I've got this $305 debt to SteelToe hanging over my head. I got to get to that before I get to all these other bills. So Aaron's kind of doing that for you. He's like H&R Block. He's like, hey, we'll handle the dirty stuff, you know? You just pay us at the end.
You know, I got to give it to him. He's not charging us interest on what we owe him yet. Yet, Mike. I'm sure he's going to figure out how interest
that'll
works.
You know what? Someone passed this along to Aaron. I fear he wouldn't read if I were to donate, I fear he wouldn't read it. So someone could pass this along to Aaron Imholte. If they fall behind in the goal, which based on these numbers, it's not going to happen for a long time. These people are getting ahead. But if they ever do fall behind, like the goal is 350. But if you miss yesterday's goal, tack interest onto that. You know, now the goal is like 368 or something. I like it. I think that's smart, Casey.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a Thursday morning show for you guys. I'm gonna drive back early in the morning from the lake.
Zero interest, sure.
And I'm gonna come in here and we're gonna do a members only.
I'm gonna break something to you folks. It's a little sad news here. Next Sunday, no Blind Mike Project.
What?
I'm gonna be away. I know, I'm sorry. I'm gonna be away. I can't do a show. You know what? Maybe you guys can convince me by the end of the show. What I will do is inconvenience everyone around me and ruin my own plans if you give me like $300. And I'll worsen my life to put on a mediocre show that I don't want to do, and I'm openly saying I don't want to do, and that you guys won't enjoy because I'm putting no effort into it. How's that? If you pay me enough money, I'll inconvenience my life and mildly worsen yours for a few dollars. What do you say? Why is it a negotiation whether or not you want to do a show? Like, Aaron will get into this. We have clips where he's like, oh, no, I like doing a show, but I can only do a show for money, whatever. The money doesn't come first. The money comes second. If you do a good show, if you are Matt and Shane, you prove that you do a good show and you a show that people want to watch or listen to. And then over the years, you accrue. We happened to look this up because we were talking about Owen Benjamin was shitting on Shane Gillis, and me and Craig looked it up. Matt and Shane have 114,000 Patreon subscribers. It's wild. I didn't know that was possible. I think the next closest is like 69,000 or something. So Matt and Shane have 114,000 Patreon subscribers. What they did is built up that audience. They didn't say, hey, subscribe to our Patreon, and then if we get enough of you, we'll start doing good shows. No, they do shows that people want to pay for. Aaron's literally putting the cart before the horse here. It doesn't make sense, the order of operations, where he's like, if you pay me, I'll mail in a show later in the week. Who wants that?
They're not members only, a Rumble Link Friday show for you all. So thank you very much for contributing to the program. 305.
He's like an NFL player that wants like a long-term contract. And I say that we make it incentive-based. So you have to meet certain goals to get paid, Aaron, or we get it all back. How about that?
Yeah, exactly. Aaron's asking for a 13-year contract.
Yes.
And we're saying, well, these never work, Aaron. Why would we give you one of those?
Is the number for tomorrow, not today, for tomorrow. Meat Drapes becoming a member for 31 months.
Thank you, Meat Drapes.
Meat Drapes.
Meat Drapes, I've always appreciated your service.
Best chat names in the biz.
General Meat Drapes doing his part.
Mike, we should get to some of these super chats to get closer to this goal.
All right, fine. Let's see. And hey, if you guys are good, maybe I'll start caring about this episode.
Electra, you right?
Guys, imagine, like, I think I've done an okay show so far. If you start paying me, imagine how good the show will be. So come on, what do you say? If I start seeing those numbers pile up, if I'm, stacking cash here, then I'll start caring about this episode. And you don't want to see what I can do when I care. That's something really impressive. You don't get to see it yet because you haven't paid me enough. But just imagine what it could be.
Could get so much gooder.
I'm excited. All right, Alexa, here we go. Let's bang through these.
All right, Ben Boolin, 199. Thank you, OJ.
Thank you, Ben.
As always.
I'll fuck your mouth, you whore. $2. Stuff this up your
Doesn't even try, by the way. It doesn't even try to make it a name.
No, he did. She just didn't read it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Alpha is the first name. ALLFA.
Oh, that is fun.
Yeah. Go ahead, read it again.
Stuff this up your goal hole, you non-sighted beauty.
Oh, that's sweet.
That's sweet. Yeah.
Like, in a weird way, it is. Yes.
Your
Chris-
goal.
Chris Primer, $6. 0.00001% for the goal.
We're getting there, baby. Hey, everything counts. We appreciate those 5s and 10s and 20s. And you know what? If I see a $20 donation, we'll play some incoherent sound drop. What do you say?
Yes.
That means
Yes.
that adds nothing to the conversation that you could just look up on YouTube if you wanted. If we get 20s, that's what we'll do. We'll just play a noise. What do you say? Come on.
Perfect.
We like it if it jingles, but if it folds, it's better. Here we go, people. Come on.
Dang Lizard, €2. Isn't Streamlabs just PayPal with a different UI?
I don't really know. I've still never
No
known.
one
In all my SteelToe coverage, I've never fully understood what Streamlabs is.
Me neither. Saucepan, $1.99. Please, for the love of God, fix the amount of ads.
There's nothing I can do about that. That's YouTube.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I'm with this guy. Hey, YouTube, if you're listening, it is fucking annoying, especially as a guy that like falls asleep to YouTube videos. It's obnoxious. Where like,
it is.
especially when you get ads. So like, I'm dozing off, but I'm still there's a little consciousness left, and an ad comes on, and you're like, I'll just wait till this ad, and then you realize the ad's like 14 minutes long.
They really.
And you're
go on
like,
forever.
I guess I have to fucking open my eyes now
Yeah.
and turn this thing off. It is exhausting. So I'm with you, buddy, and I'm sorry about the way YouTube does that.
Saucepan, I'll take a look. I don't know if mid rolls are on or off, but if they're on, we'll turn them off because
Is there a way we can just lessen them?
mid rolls, yeah. So basically,
No, but I'm saying like, is there a way we can do like one mid roll instead of every 5 minutes?
I can check to see if you can do it by time, but I think you just can either turn it on or off.
Okay.
Yeah, and you know, you can make a few dollars on the ad, but it's better for the fans to.
Yeah, I agree.
Sleep.
I mean, we should just go off in general, like at the ends, you know?
Yeah, exactly. So people can fall asleep to you, Mike. All right, here we go.
Exactly.
Starberry, $60.
Wow, thank you, Star.
Oh, you get a noise.
Yay.
Play a noise for the guy. There you go.
There we go.
0.0001 for the goal.
Thank you, buddy. We're getting
You also
there.
get an auga.
Oh, God.
There we
Wow.
go.
Isn't that worth it, folks?
Yes, that was you, Mike.
And McNally, $2. Just doing what Mike said.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Much appreciated.
All right.
207_tuna, $20. Gearhead since January 2021, but missed the last goal show. No better time to help Blind Mike get ahead the goal.
Much appreciated. And hey, I appreciate you supporting me through all that time and already paying me money. But if you pay me more money, maybe in the future, I'll do something good. So keep tossing that cash at me, baby.
207 tuna for 20. You get a yeehaw.
Yeehaw! That's very exciting.
Yes.
All right.
Is that actually me or is that one of your AI things?
That is actually you, my friend.
I wish I could remember the context of that.
It was our private night together. Don't you remember? Yeah.
Oh, okay. Of course.
J-Bone Slocum, $5. Will you be keeping the Quincy branding for whatever show you watch next?
That's smart. I like that.
The Quincy branding? Oh,
Yeah.
Quincy
Quincy
continuing to call it
Tuesday.
Tuesday? That, you know what? I don't hate that. I should pay homage to Quincy by calling
like
it
that.
Tuesday. Yeah. I'm curious what people think about this. I've been leaning towards Seventh Heaven recently.
That's a good one.
Ooh.
That's a good
Yeah, I don't. That's not official, but it's just an idea I had.
I like it.
Yeah. Yeah. Listen, you want to shit on some Christians? You know who to invite up there. Yeah, HACKRIDE
right.
is available. Just saying.
All right.
Dang
People here.
Lizard, €5. Did Aaron realize he needs retirement money, or do we need to get even more ahead for that?
Oh,
How
you got to
much
get way ahead. Think of it this way: if we get ahead every day, if every day we knock out another day, then what we're doing is working our way. Aaron's what, 38? So we probably want to get roughly 30 years ahead. And so if every day we knock out a day or two, we'll do that in what? 20 years, probably? Is my math right there?
I'm an old man. I'll be dead.
And he also wants to know how much ahead do we need to get for his kids' inheritance?
Oh my god.
Oh,
Forgot about
interesting.
the kids. Didn't even think about the kids.
Yeah.
We're gonna want to knock out at least a week at a time if we want to do that.
Right.
I forgot about the kids, and that's selfish of me to not be thinking of how to pay for Aaron's kids' college.
Right.
Yeah, we got to think about the general wealth of the Imholte clan for generations
Right.
to come. Mike.
Right? Do you like SteelToe enough to create an empire? I guess is the
Exactly.
question. Yeah.
This is the Rockefellers and the Imholts. That's what we
Yes.
need. And last one here.
And the everlasting icon buckets, $2. Broke right now, but a goal's a goal.
I come buckets for the bid. I appreciate it, but keep your money. If you can't afford it, don't worry about it. I'll break character and say, don't worry about it. I come buckets. Good to see you again. He hasn't been around as much lately.
We
Thank
love
you,
icon
Icon
buckets.
Buckets. All right. We're up to a happy guy. SteelToe's a happy guy.
Well, hey, he's footloose and fancy free, baby. He's a day ahead. Ain't no cloud gonna come over when you're a day ahead. So let's hear why Aaron's so happy.
Let's make some money today. Let's stay ahead. I'm loving this being ahead thing. I'm digging
That's
it.
how every clip should start.
Let's make some money.
This is a man who is ahead. He's got nothing to worry about today. You would think, even if the model of SteelToe is begging for money, you would think you would relish it. Because Aaron's always like, I hate this part so much. I hate this begging part. You would think when he's a day ahead, he would relish it and say, I don't have to mention money. I don't have to debase myself by asking these people for money. I can just do a show. And you know what? I'll even give Aaron this. If you want to do, like, if the goal talk usually takes up close to an hour, do a 3-hour show, 3.5-hour show. That's fine. Me and Craig were talking about this the other day, where the idea of doing a 4.5-hour show is so ridiculous when you consider Aaron's reasoning. He's a radio guy. So he's like, well, I was on 6 to 10 a.m. on the radio, so I should be on 6 to 10 a.m. in podcast form. What he doesn't realize is, like, with commercial breaks on radio, Aaron was probably only talking for 2.5 hours, give or take. Maybe 3. Like, I don't know what their ad breaks were like, but let's call it 3 hours. Aaron also had co-hosts then and producers. Now he's got Johnny once in a while grunting half a thought into a microphone. But, like, Aaron had other people to bounce off of. He's doing so much more talking now. And his way of making money is being like, hey, I'll talk longer. I'll have even less to say if you guys give me money. It's such a wild trade-off that the audience is making.
Let's dilute this product down together, people. Come on.
Yes.
Let's make some money today. Let's stay ahead. I'm loving this being ahead thing. I'm digging it. It's the first day of July. Maybe don't enunciate that so much.
Yeah. After
Oh,
the last
you
segment
son of a
especially.
gun.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You're such an edgelord.
That's what I come here for, Mike, the edgelordness.
Oh, he really is.
You're probably right on the money there. 3:05 away from tomorrow morning's goal.
You know what?
And
Well, hold on. I want to take my time with this. Can you go back a little bit? Aaron's saying you're probably right on the money. I want to go back to where he says July. Because Aaron's saying you're right on the money. I think he's talking to himself. Like, Johnny speaks, but what Aaron is saying is directed to himself, where he's like, attaboy, Aaron. I think you have the correct. And I think he's talking to himself here. Let me hear that again.
today, let's stay ahead. I'm loving this being ahead thing. I'm digging it. It's the first day of July. Maybe don't enunciate that so much.
Yeah. After the last segment especially.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. You're probably right on the money.
You see,
there.
that's what he's saying. He goes, you're probably right, Aaron. You probably shouldn't enunciate July like that. You're probably correct, Aaron.
He's his own co-host.
Boy, Aaron, you're really crushing it today. Thanks, Aaron. Aaron, are we going to get these guys to give the goal? I don't know, Aaron. The goal's looking pretty steep. We're 3:05 away still, and I haven't seen a lot of movement. Come on, Aaron. Quit bashing them. I think they can do it. Well, Aaron, you make a good point.
It's mundane stuff too. It's like, should I say that? No, I shouldn't say that.
That gives you an insight into what talking to Johnny Crutches is like, where he's like, I'd rather just respond to myself than whatever this useless asshole is talking about.
Is this thing on? Hello, over here.
3:05 away from tomorrow morning's goal. And boy, Johnny, the last 2 weeks we've been living our dream. We've been saying, hey, once you get ahead, why don't we just stay ahead? It makes it really easy. And now we're 3
Aaron,
shows
I'm thinking
ahead.
of a young a young Imholte boy. I remember, like, this was very. I had foolish dreams when I was a kid. If you look at my second grade yearbook, they ask you. It's like your name, and then they ask you like what you want to be when you grow up. And my answer, boy, I believe I was diagnosed with the eye condition that I have in second grade. So I don't know the exact timeline, but it shows you the pain that was about to come. That my answer was I wanted to play in the NBA. That was my dream as a second grader.
Aw.
Now for me, that was delusional. But Aaron had his sights set on much more reachable goals. Aaron said, "You know what I think I could do one day, Papa? I think one day I could get a day ahead of the goal, whittle it down to 305, and then have people continue to donate." And his dad said, "You ain't never going to make it, son. You ain't never going to get one day ahead of the goal. And boy, get out of here. We don't need no head in the clouds fool like that around here." And he said, "I'll show you, Dad." And Aaron left the Imholte house with nothing but a dream in his pocket. And my God, by hook or by crook, he worked his way to, at the young age of 38, being one day ahead of the goal. So, Aaron, while I couldn't make my dreams happen, by God, you've done it. And I respect you for it.
Also, Aaron had a black father. That's amazing. I did not know that.
Well, it was a different time. That's how everyone talked back then.
It's awful pale. That's it.
Ed, we're on Wednesday morning, so we got this morning, tonight, and tomorrow morning. So we're 3 shows ahead. I love that.
I love the calculation. Like, this is like your boss saying, like, well, it's the morning today, so you have 8 hours left today to get this project done. And then we don't need it till Friday. So you've got Wednesday and Thursday, and then have it on my desk by Friday morning. That should be plenty of time for you to get this done. Aaron laying out the amount of hours you have to give to him in order to hit the goal in a timely fashion.
Really need to open up like a Excel spreadsheet to follow what's going on the show, Mike.
For today. Here's my idea.
Oh, okay.
If we get this Wednesday morning thing knocked out by the end of the evening show, I'm a happy guy.
Oh, good.
I ain't saying we got to hammer out tomorrow morning right now.
Okay, all right.
A
little breathing room. Jesus, you had me scared for a second there, Aaron.
I think we're gonna survive.
I thought I'm only one man. I'm merely flesh and bone, Aaron. I can only do so much. But I appreciate you kind of softening a little and going, we don't need it right now. I'll give you through the evening show. And that made me take my foot off the gas a little bit and say, I can't keep burning the candle at both ends like this, Aaron. So I appreciate it.
So his plan was we just get him past Wednesday's show and he's going to be happy. That's the plan. Our plan is to create happiness.
For him.
For him.
Specifically. Not he doesn't say like, hey, if we hit the goal, here's why we'll all be happy. Here's how it'll benefit all of our lives. He's like, here's what I'm thinking. Hey guys, gather. Come here, a little closer. I don't want Patrick Melton to hear me. Here's what I'm thinking. Come on in. We hit the goal today, and I'm gonna be a happy guy. And everyone celebrating. Aaron's like, hey, shh. We don't want the others to hear us. And they're like, Aaron, you can't drop something on me like that and expect me to contain my excitement. It's too much. The thought of you being happy does so much for my well-being. I can't keep that inside. I can't bottle it up. I gotta let it out and say, yes, if we hit the goal today, Aaron's gonna be a happy guy. Oh, I'm busting.
It'll be on my list of lifetime achievements, Mike, that I made Aaron happy.
It should be. I think a lot of people, might take a walk down the train tracks, not for any depressing reasons. They might say, what else do I have to achieve? We've brought Aaron pure ecstasy. Like, what more do I have to do? It'll be like the guy with the funny eye in Boardwalk Empire, where he's like, I've just got nothing left,
Isn't that the star of Boardwalk Empire?
No, you're thinking of Steve Buscemi.
Yeah, he's got funny eyes.
That's not what I'm thinking of, though.
Oh, okay.
Not necessary. And then Wednesday morning, knockout Wednesday evening. It's all good.
Chef's kiss.
Hey, it's all good. Hey, you guys are all right by me. Hey, you know what? If you knock this goal out, I'm going to be all right with that. What do you say? I'm giving my blessing. Here I am, Aaron Imholte. I'm going to sign off on this. You guys have been waiting for me to cut this ribbon down and, really give the official grand opening to the goal. Go ahead and hit it. You're free. Go ahead. The leash is off.
Mike, I'm starting to worry here because as one side builds up in happiness, another side is also building of sorrow.
No, you're not looking at it right. Because I've heard a lot of gamblers say this, where like when you're addicted to gambling, the actual rush, like what you're addicted to, is actually losing. Like if you just win, you almost lose that dopamine rush. What you're really addicted to is that loss. You almost like it in a sick way. So what Aaron is doing while gaining happiness, he's also giving you a reason to live, where you're addicted to giving to the goal. And you're like, is Aaron happy? Yes. Am I hemorrhaging money? Yes. And that's what I get off on, is seeing my bank account go down. Because if this guy is happy, that's the real joy in my life, It's like watching fucking, I don't know, a horse. I don't know, a jockey. But some horse win the Kentucky Derby. You're like, hey, he's happy. I lost money on this race, but I get such a rush from watching these ponies go around that circle. And that's what the SteelToe Morning Show is.
Right, thank you so much. Gift those memberships, Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, and Rumble Rants. I only said that once yesterday.
Wow.
Nice.
By the way, I don't believe that was true. I think that may have been a lie. But hey, we'll give him that one. He only said it once yesterday. Very impressive.
All right, we're up to spaz alert.
Uh-oh. I hope no one's spazzing.
Me too. That would be terrible.
Go ahead.
Chicaboo Stew with $2 says, ding dong, spaz
The names
alert,
are great.
ding dong.
The names are the best part. Could someone just put together a compilation of the best SteelToe chatter names?
They are the best in the biz, Mike.
I don't even think I can say that one, but
No.
But they are great.
Get out quick, Johnny.
Okay.
Did you have a spasm?
Oh, dude, I don't think he was talking about me. I think he says you were. Well, he's telling me to get out quick. I don't know why he's thinking.
What did I spaz about?
I don't fucking know.
Did I have a
like
spaz?
that. Johnny clearly lying. He's like, I think he's talking about you spazzing, obviously. And Aaron's like, what did I spaz about? Johnny's like, who knows, man? It's like, well, why do you think he's talking about him? If neither of you spazzed, as it were, why would you assume it's Aaron? Obviously, Johnny also agrees with this chatter. Now, I couldn't figure out what the chatter was talking about either. Probably just trying to agitate Aaron. But it seems like Johnny had something in mind where he's like, no, he's obviously talking about you. Well, why do you say that? I don't know.
No reason. No reason.
I don't know.
Did I do something?
I don't know. That's again, I have no
Hey,
idea
you know
what
what?
that message.
Hey, let's call it a wash. Maybe you did, maybe you didn't. I say we don't stop the show for 25 minutes to research it. What do you say? I'm already paying enough money for this program.
Yes, we are.
You're supposed to mean.
Now I'm paranoid. What did I do wrong? Tell me what I did wrong. I can change.
I can change. I can change.
I can do something different. What did I spaz? I don't realize what I spazzed about.
Hey,
I don't
it's
know.
fine. Let's all call it water under the bridge. What do you say? We move on. Talk about something.
Really feeling for these ex-wives now, because I mean, just imagine calling it. Oh, you're spazzing, Aaron. What am I spazzing? I'm spazzing. Oh,
Why?
God,
Why? Oh well, we'll get to what a treat it must be to live with this guy.
Oh, night.
I'm not.
Tell
even
me what I've
necessarily
done.
I don't know.
Tell me what I'm doing wrong. I can change.
Oh my God! How long do you have?
I don't know what my I don't know what my spaz alert
Hey,
was.
if neither of you know, let's fucking move on. What do you say? Come on. Talk about something. I know it's a holiday week and you're trying to take it easy on me, but I'd like you to talk about something if I'm going to listen to this.
I got another hour and then on spazzing, I think.
And I like the idea of talking to the chat. Like if I was talking to the chat like it was you, where I'm like, you guys read a chat and I'm like, oh, what do you mean by that? And you guys are like, well, maybe they'll respond. Next time we read super chats, we'll let you know. And I'm like, no, what does he mean? Now. It's like that guy might not even still be here. Just move on. He's not in the room, Aaron.
I don't know what any of the. I like to get out quick. Like I could do anything fast.
I don't like doing I don't like having the what do you call it? The lack of self-awareness to not know that my spaz is coming.
Sorry, I didn't see you spaz though.
I know. I don't feel like I did spaz.
Is this guy a genius? This Stu, whatever his name was, chatter.
Yes.
Is he a genius that just with one chat he was able to get Aaron to freak out about something? And like Aaron's doing a bit. This is where like Aaron thinks he's cute, but it's like you haven't stumbled on anything entertaining or interesting in this. You just keep repeating, "What am I spazzing about?" And he's like, "Ain't I a scamp? Ain't I the cutest?" And he's about to ramp up this little bit, but like it's Aaron thinking he's funny. And there are a lot of guys where like I'll watch. There are a lot of things that Aaron does that I intentionally don't clip because I'm like, he's trying to be funny and maybe his audience gets it. This is the stuff where it's like, what is the payoff for this? Stopping the show because one chatter said something vague. It's not even like if it was specific, it might actually be interesting to dive into. Like, oh, I actually wasn't freaking out about that. Here's what I meant. Blah, blah, blah. You explain it. This is just something totally vague that a free chat said. It might not even be about Aaron. It might be about something the chat is joking about. But read a chat right now. Pick a totally random chat.
All right, totally random chat generator. Here we go. J Bone Slocum, what's so good about it?
What do you mean? What's so good about what? This show? Are you saying the show isn't good? What? Why are you saying that, J Bones? Why? Answer me in real time. Why are you doing this? If I make it last long enough, does that make it a funny bit that I dragged this out? You could do that with anything, Aaron. Just move on.
I like to think the guy actually instructed him to spaz, and Aaron just did it. He couldn't help himself.
Well, give the people what they want.
Exactly.
Fackerbacker says, keep your eyes off chat. Keep your eyes off the chat. You're reading this, aren't you? I just want to dive into my Tucker Carlson stuff.
But I can't. Because you guys have such a hold over me for some reason. That if anyone says anything, it derails the entire show. That guy's chat, Packerbacker, was mocking you, Aaron. He's like, I bet you're reading this, aren't you? He's like, oh, I bet, yes, I am reading it, as a matter of fact. Do a show. Do a fucking show. Stop being obsessed with the chat. It's crazy to live. I don't even mean from a show perspective. Stop living your life like this. Unburden yourself, Aaron.
Interact with the chat. Don't marry them.
Especially, by the way, when you're now doing a show. Here's what's so crazy about what Aaron's doing. Is he now has a show where he has stated, if you super chat me about certain things, I won't read them. And by that he means the Ricadas, that lawsuit, any of that stuff. If you chat me about things related to that, I'm not reading them. And he's still obsessed with the chat. That's an impossible way to do a show. If you're saying, well, the main thing you guys are going to put in the chat, I'm not reading them. But I'm still doing 4 hours staring at the chat, seeing if anyone says anything. And God forbid, this guy who said spaz alert is like, oh, because you won't talk about the Ricadas. Us not reading the chat will never get a conclusion to this because you'll just ignore it.
My Fauci stuff and all that. And now J Boo Stu says, ding dong, spaz alert, ding dong, get out quick, Johnny.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's talking about you getting in the chat, I guess. That would be my guess.
I don't know what it means, and now I don't know.
You never know.
I don't know either. What do you want from me?
I've had a lot of surprises in the recent past.
I like for surprises. By surprises, he means that he sent a naked picture of a woman without her consent, and is in a revenge. Is part of a revenge porn case now. Those are that's right. I guess those are the surprises. Let me hear it again.
Oh, sorry.
Charge.
It applies to so many things in his life.
It does.
But I guess those. Aaron talks about these things in such ways that like sweep them under the rug without ever acknowledging his role in them or anything. He's like, I've had so many surprises in my life lately. What do you mean by that? Like you sending Nick Rekieta a cease and desist? Like there's always these vagaries. This is a show that truly I can't imagine. And believe me, I've been a part of shows that have a lot of inside references that might be hard to get into at first, and then once you watch a couple episodes, now you get the joke. You're in. You're hooked. So I get it. Maybe there's some of that that's lost on me with Aaron, but I feel like I've watched enough of him now that I should be able to understand where he's coming from. And I can't imagine watching this show for the politics. Like that's the way Aaron would describe this show is like right-wing political talk. Every topic that he preps is Tucker Carlson talking to RFK. It's something going on with Fauci. It's Donald Trump is in the news. It's making fun of The View. Like those are the topics I've seen him discuss. So it's a right-wing political talk show. And yet there's no, like, if you're watching for that, you're like, what is he talking about? He's had surprises in his life. What does he mean? I can't imagine watching with the intention of hearing his take on Fauci. If you're listening to like, well, this guy said spaz alert, and I've had a lot of surprises in my life, and I can't tolerate someone putting that in the chat. It's impossible. It's arduous to listen to.
J-Bone Slocum coming in over the top with maybe the title for the episode, Spaz Alert. I like it.
No.
No. Okay, Mike.
It's too confusing. Okay. It'll make everyone stop in their tracks.
It will drive everyone crazy for the day.
No, that's a good candidate for now. That's a good candidate.
Yeah.
Let's get weird. I don't know what's going on.
What are we doing here? All right, so anyway.
You're doing it. It's your show.
Fact.
Take the reins back.
Is there a clip?
Sake.
Is there a clip?
Yeah, we have the
Move
Tucker
on.
Carlson. Now I'm paranoid.
You should be
He
paranoid.
made me paranoid. Now I have to poop.
Oh.
J-Boo Stew literally drew
Isn't
a
he
poop out
cute?
of me. My tummy.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
right.
he's being a little scamp. He's just having fun with this bit.
He just rumbled, and I felt pressure.
Well, my tummy's been rumbling all morning.
So this is where he's sort of acting like it is a bit. He's like, oh, it's all bit. But I think Aaron is so consumed with what the chat says about him that I believe the part where he's begging for answers, I think that's more real than people give it credit for. Others would say it's a missed attempt by Aaron to be hilarious. And I think it could be both. I think he thinks he's doing a wacky bit here, but also obsessed with what the chat is saying about him. And that's a crazy way to do a show.
Yeah, he definitely feels the free chat harder than anyone that I've seen at his level. I mean, goddamn.
Yeah, maybe like John or Kevin Brennan or someone like
John,
that.
you got me. John,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a
But
John.
it's in that world.
No, wait, hold on. It's gone. The pressure's gone.
All right.
The pressure's gone.
Sure you're good?
False alarm.
All right.
All right,
There's
let's
something
do a
else.
show. What do you say?
I followed Patrick Swayze's advice, and I let it turn into something else. I let it turn into something else. Okay, let's and then I got a text.
Oh, good.
SP just wrote me, says, well, that was short-lived. What was
Whoa.
short?
Whoa.
Stop.
I was hoping, Aaron, if the chat was distracting you, I was hoping next maybe you would check your text messages.
Mm-hmm.
If the chat was getting you distracted, how about open your phone and see what other avenues you can go down? I want to talk about my Tucker Carlson bit, but now my tummy hurts. He thinks he's like cutesy. But what is really happening is he's saying, I have no original take about this Tucker Carlson thing. So if I can make a meal out of what's going on in the chat, that will delay by 20 or 30 minutes me having to pretend I have a take on this video. Aaron doesn't give a fuck about any of the subjects he talks about other than himself. That's one thing I've really zeroed in on in my SteelToe learning. Because about a year ago this time, I didn't know dick about SteelToe. And I've crammed. I've hit the books. And I've learned a lot about this man. And what I've really learned more than anything is he doesn't care about a single subject that he gets into.
Mm-mm.
Tucker Carlson, Trump, Fauci, whatever the fuck he names, he doesn't give a shit. What he gives a shit about is money. And I think he's a skilled enough broadcaster that he's learned, like, if he interacts with the chat, they're going to give him more money. If he's like, what am I spazzing about? Then the Packer backer will give him $5 to be like, oh, you spazzed about this. And Aaron can go, what? Guys, do you think I was spazzing about that? And people will chat, you were, Aaron. And he's like, what? No, this is crazy. That all you got. But I want to talk about this Tucker Carlson thing, but you guys won't let me. So Aaron has learned that he can avoid talking about the horse shit that he claims his show is about if he just interacts with the chat and pretends there's interesting things going on. No offense to you guys. You have interesting things to say all the time, but not literally. It's like once in a while, you know?
This seems to all be a recalibration since the court, right? Like, he can't talk about Rekieta, can't talk about any of that stuff. So now he's recalculating on what he can talk about, and my God, it is nothing.
Yeah, it's always been there, but you're right that it's ramped up since he has nothing else to talk about now. You heard him even admit it, where he's like, you know, there's some bit that you guys might want me to spend 30 minutes on, and I've only got 7 minutes in me because it's a holiday weekend. But in reality, I managed to read between those very narrow lines and say, I don't think the holiday has anything to do with it. I think it's just that Aaron isn't actually interested in any of this shit. What he's interested in is himself. Why he's never had more content to discuss than when he could talk about April and the Reketas and the polycule and all the drama going on. Now he can't really talk about any of that shit. So he just has to say, like, what's the chat saying? You know?
But the chat's got to be, my thinking on free chats saying, don't talk about this. They got to be only talking about that, right? And so
right.
he picks like the one thing that, spaz, I'm going to focus on that in the chat.
Yeah.
And 90% of it is about Rekieta.
And then I can make all these other people be like, boy, he's really spazzing. Those are all the people that were saying Nick Rekieta's name before. Now they're like, oh, he's freaking out about this. So it's all just a distraction. And he's willing to stop at nothing, even yelling at his girlfriend.
That's SP, right? SP, Slam Piece.
Oh, yeah, for those that don't know, SP is Slam Piece.
I really like that.
It's very sweet.
Yeah.
Which he lovingly calls his now longtime girlfriend. I think they've been together for over a year. He's been talking about marriage lately. So let's hear what this twat is up to, distracting him from his show.
Sending me. I'm on the fucking air, you guys. Stop sending me vaguely worded shit. It puts me in a fucking panic.
You guys.
Well, we know how to control you now. Thanks, Aaron.
We know how to control you. Also, we don't have your fucking phone number. Stop looking at your phone. This is one thing that I am blessed with. God wasn't particularly great to me when he was handing out genetics. But one thing he did do well, just from a podcaster's standpoint. You know what's on my phone right now?
What's that?
I don't have any fucking idea. No idea.
Okay.
No clue. Don't know what's on there because I can't see it. It would distract me too much from the show if I were to attempt to read my phone right now. I can't, for the life of me, see what's going on in the chat. So if I could bestow a little wisdom onto some of my fellow podcasters, take a little page out of my playbook. Say, Mike was blessed with this gift. Maybe I'll, for a brief moment in time, pretend to be blind and not be obsessed with the chat. Unless, here's one caveat. If you have zero plan for a show, if you have nothing outlined, you've done no prep work, if you're just turning the camera on and hoping people give you money, then just look at the chat. That's all you've got. That's your best bet. But if you planned something, that's what's crazy to me. Like Tuesday night show, we're talking about Ethan Klein lawsuit. And I've done prep work. Kaylee is doing prep work for it, probably as we speak. Hard at work, even on the weekend, that Lucy Tightbox. If I was just like, hey, Kaylee, they didn't give me enough money. We're just not doing a show. She'd be like, what the fuck did I spend all this time on? But if you don't do any work for your show, then it's very easy to be like, oh, I guess we're not doing a show. You didn't give me enough money. Like, if you care about things and want to talk about them, then you're excited to do a show. This is what you're reduced to if you put no effort in.
Oh my God. Stop. Stop hinting at shit. I have 3.5 hours before I can talk to anyone. So stop fucking going, it's spaz alert, or that was short-lived. What the fuck does it mean? I need to know.
You're the one talking to them. And I get Aaron's like trying to do a bit to stir up a reaction. But it's so idiotic because it's like, you're the one talking to them. Stop talking to me. Does that thing where he gets so emotional, his voice cracks. Why are you talking? I have 3.5 hours that I can't talk to anyone. You're the one reacting to them. This is all fake. What you're doing is fake. I get that you can no longer talk about fucking another man's wife or having another man fuck yours. And that's going to be crushing to you. But find something else you're interested in. It's the, I've said this before. Aaron has always thought he's Anthony. And in reality, he's very clearly to the rest of us, Opie.
Opie, 100%.
Like the parallels to Opie are endless. And one of the many are that Aaron doesn't have any real interests. I shouldn't say that. Like, when I hear him talk about the Vikings, I think he's interested in the Vikings. You know what I mean? Like, he does have interests, but they're not things that are going to get people to click on his show because he's not skilled enough at them. Like, we heard him when he was talking about the Karen Reed case. He's like, oh, people just talk about Karen Reed because it gets clicks. If you talk sports, it doesn't get clicks. And my answer was, tell that to Pat McAfee, or pardon my take. I think they're doing all right by talking about sports. So Aaron is just mad that like his interests aren't getting him a ton of views. Now, he tried that for a while with like Stuttering John. I believe that he was really interested in that world, the Dabbleverse, that he now calls very gay. I think he was once genuinely interested in it. And collectively, the Dabbleverse said, well, we're not interested in you. Sorry, Aaron. And that's why Aaron created this shield of everyone being gay. Oh, you're all gay. And I don't like what you guys do. It's gay. But Aaron doesn't have any interests, much like Opie. So he's reduced to like yelling at the chat or having some fake fight with his girlfriend on air because he has nothing he's interested in. And Aaron will call like this. He's like, oh, reaction. People that react about me, they're sad. I'm interested in this at the very least. Patrick Melton seems to be interested in it. Like, the people that talk about Aaron are interested in the mania of this show. Whereas Aaron doesn't have that. He doesn't have something that he can just talk about and make interesting to people.
Focus for the next 3.5 fucking hours, and I can't focus when people are hinting at shit. Oh my God.
Oh, it's very real. You see that passion?
You good?
This fucking really pisses me off. I'm not going to lie. It really fucking pisses me off.
Well, this guy seems like a real treat at home.
Thought we were relaxing for the 4th here. What are we doing?
I gotta tell you, if you told me this guy, if there were court documents, just hypothetically, if you told me there was a guy where there's court documents suggesting that he strangled his wife or girlfriend, and that's kind of been brushed under the rug, and then you showed me this clip, I'd be like, this guy, he seems like such a treat to have in the house, you know?
Yes.
I'm doing a show, and they hint at shit. Like, I've had a life recently where, like, weird shit happens out of the blue for no fucking reason.
Out of the blue. Clear blue. Isn't that the damnedest thing? Mm-hmm. When you come home one day, you're totally unassuming. You just think, like, that's a nice day out. Nothing real interesting has happened to me. You walk in the front door, bam, foursome happening.
Yeah.
With another married couple. Bing, bang, boom. All of a sudden, oh, shit, I'm so surprised that I've stumbled into this. My decisions didn't have anything to do with it. Certainly, that much I can assure you. All of the foursomes I've been in, they've been sprung on me. It wasn't my decision to bring my kids to a drug den. Absolutely not. I didn't play a part in any of that. Just shit happens to me. That's the interesting part of this clip. Not that he's like having this fake but kind of real fight with his girlfriend. That doesn't interest me. What interests me is the idea that he's like, shit just falls into my lap. Bad shit happens to me that I take no part in. Why, damn it? Like, that's how Aaron looks at this revenge porn thing. And I gotta say, like, do I think because Aaron sent a picture of Kayla to Gino that he should be behind bars? Not really. Like, my belief is that that's not how our tax dollars are best spent, is making sure Aaron pays for that. I don't really give a fuck at the end of the day. But to suggest you didn't play a role in that is wild. To just take a picture of a lady without her consent and send it to a guy while you're on the air. Like, just letting everyone know that that exists. That is a little crazy to be like, hey, shit just happens to me, man. It's the damnedest thing.
Right. He snitches on himself all the time.
Right.
He's a snitch.
And they should have put Gino in jail for that, too. Just saying.
You should put Gino in jail for just the podcast he does.
Yeah, just being an interrupter on a podcast. My God, I can't watch him.
Don't like being hinted at. Just fucking tell me shit.
What an insane. It doesn't even make sense as an argument. If you're doing it as a device where, like, the audience would go, oh, man, that is a pet peeve of mine, too. When someone close to me texts me as if we have an ongoing conversation. It's like, no, that happens all the time. And by the way, the result of that was like SP referring to something they were talking about earlier. And he's like, oh, okay. It's like, why do any of this on the air? Well, the answer is he has time to kill.
Lots of time. Let's get a few super chats done here. Just
speaking of time to kill, let's hit them.
So we don't load up at the end. Electra, you got this one from Icon Buckets here.
Icon Buckets, $2. Broke right now, but a goal's a goal. We already did that one. That's
we
okay,
did that
but
one,
we
but
can do it twice.
Hey, thanks again.
Thank you. Yeah.
I gotta say, reading super chats twice doesn't help me pay my mortgage. So what do you say? Come on, gang.
I think technically, Icon Buckets, you owe us $2. That'll be a 10% interest.
Oh, that is true. We did put that on the books. I jotted it down real quick. So I've got you down for $4, and we're gonna need to see that other $2. I'm sorry you're going through something right now, but a deal's a deal, you know.
No. Don't make us send Kragers out there to break your legs.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Fatty Pneumonia, $2. Did Craig choose Seventh Heaven because of the dad?
That might be tough. It will be tough to get through because, like, when we watch, like, for example, when we watch Richard Ojeda clips, Craig gets too bogged down. He's like having a real argument with Ojeda about politics. And I have to remind him, no, Craig, we're laughing at this guy. He's a wacky guy. We're having a good time laughing at him. If we watch Seventh Heaven with Craig, the whole time he's going to be like, and what he did really wasn't that bad. Like, if you think about it. And I'm going to be like, no, Craig, we're talking about the character. We're not talking about Stephen Collins. You know? And he'll be like, oh, right.
You see how short their dresses were, Mike?
Right, exactly.
Icon Buckets, another $2. Stole my nephew's piggy bank, all for the goal.
Hey, you know what? All's forgiven. Icon Buckets. Although I think you might have given that before we made the deal that you owe us $2, but I'll still, you know what? I'm going to let you off easy. So you're good. You're all paid up.
Speaking of spaz alert, here's a man that hosts some spaz sometimes.
Matt Napo, Mind Dog.
Mad Dog. I mean, Mind Dog, whatever your name is.
$2. No comment.
Well, thank you, Mind Dog.
Thank you for the no comments, yes.
Mind Dog is all right in my book.
Yeah, he's okay.
J-Bone Slocum, $2. Spaz alert for episode title contest.
We got that one.
It's not
That
bad.
is in the running, yes.
And our friend Joe from Virginia, $4.99. Happy Sunday, boys. My daughter won't eat today, but damn it, we need to pay that mortgage.
Thank you, Joe. One of the Havre de Grace 6. But your loyalty was not earned when you drove all the way to Havre de Grace to watch Tom Myers and Dat Fan. That I couldn't give a shit about. You giving me money? That's the real stuff that shows you're a fan. So finally, Joe, I respect you. Thank you.
What's
Joe,
a
those
Havre de Grace?
What's a Havre? How dare
The
you?
hub of comedy, Electra.
Oy.
And Joe, by the way, that was when houses were at 2%. We're at 7% now, so feel free to kick in a little more, please.
In the interest of full disclosure, I think I'm at 6.5. So don't overshoot, guys.
6.5.
6.5. Take a little 0.5% off for yourselves, and then give me money. What do you say?
Perfect.
Oh,
It is wild, right?
Yeah, that's it. Well, not really. If you think back in like the 70s, they were paying like 14, 15%. So this thing
all right.
goes up
All
and
right.
down.
That makes me feel
that. Yeah, see, that's what it's supposed to do. All right, few
Dang
more.
Lizard says for €2, confusing and uninteresting super chat to spaz about.
You
So
son of a
fats.
bitch. What does he mean by that? Dang lizard. Is he going to put this on his YouTube channel, that dang lizard? Is that what you're going to do, pal? Are you going to clip me, you son of a bitch? Is that your goal here? Why? Why, dang lizard?
That's the best $2 you ever spent, English. Nice job.
He doesn't
Don-
go follow Dang Lizard. I don't know what he does on that channel, but he's got one.
He does awesome clips. I see a lot of them from like the Hackverse and Stut John verse and stuff. But he's very good. A rising star.
And those plugs ain't free, Dang Lizard. So I expect to
right.
see you back in the old super chats.
With interest. We're doing
Yes.
interest now. Right.
And Dawn Fried Chicken, $4.99. I'm glad Craig's not here because I'm fresh out of jokes. Yeah, jokes
Oh,
about
no.
your daughter. You're fresh out of jokes about those?
He's been working hard. Don Fried Chicken works hard, so he deserves it. Don, it's a holiday week.
Mhm.
You know, take it easy.
And Box Eating Dad, $1.99. Hi, Box Eating Dad. Mike, you know I'm in a tough spot now, but for the goal.
It's much appreciated. And I could say Box Eating Dad has been with us since the beginning. I could say Box Eating Dad, don't sweat it. You've been a loyal friend of the show for many years now. And I do appreciate that. But that's not true. I'd be lying to you if I said I appreciated it. You got to pay me today for me to respect you. And that goes away by end of day, by the way.
Mhm.
So you got to pay me again Tuesday if you want my respect on Tuesday. So just keep that in mind, Box Eating Dad.
Ain't for free. And the last one here. Hilarious.
J Bone Slocum, $2 again. You read mine twice. Here's the $2 I owe.
That's
Thank
now
you.
that's how you
Now
do it.
guys, let's give Jay Bones an award here. That's a guy who understands the goal. And I think if we read that chat a third time, I think he would have the integrity to pay us again.
I think so.
Electra, let's see if it. Go
No,
ahead.
no,
What is it? I did. By the way, I didn't see any interest with that. Just $2 and $2. That would be about $2.15.
That's a good point.
so-
Jay Bones. What do you say?
saying.
Yeah.
All right. Up to Dumb Broads. Mike, we're gonna be here until 6 p.m. tonight. Just saying.
Oh no.
He's just so interesting. We have to stop everywhere.
All right.
but
What are these dumb broads about? Oh, bitches do be crazy. I think I remember what this is about. Yeah. Important to remember that bitches be crazy.
It's my favorite sound drop you have.
Mm.
Oh, it turns out SP was just joking around because I didn't text her good morning.
Oh, that stupid slut. I'm glad we stopped the show for this.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, that filthy whore. I'm so glad that we stopped the show to know that you guys were texting each other this morning. Who gives
The
a fuck?
shit-eating grin on his face right now, Mike. I want to be you for 5 seconds. Just
Girls, stop being so needy, too, by
That
the
is
way.
hilarious.
That's what I freaked
you
out
are
about.
such a boob.
That's what I freaked out. That's what I was like.
Ain't I the worst? It might be the thing that just like gives me the douche chills the most about Aaron is his little like, ain't I a stinker attitude. Like he thinks he's adorable. In Aaron's mind, he's the precocious kid on a sitcom. You know, he's like young Manny in Modern Family. But what's nice about Aaron is he's never going to grow up. You know, he'll always be cute to us.
Yeah, and he always has that shit-eating grin on his face, too.
Yes.
He does. This is bad.
Can't just text me vagaries. And I understand that's how women communicate.
Why does he say it like that? Vagaries. The word is vague.
Because he's a faggery. I don't know.
So
Oh,
I can't
God,
take
I hope she just keeps doing that to you now throughout the show.
I can't take that away from women because women are fluent in vagary. It's a universal. Here, let me tell you what I feel bad about in relationships. I'm going to tell you what I feel
Go
bad
ahead.
about
Enlighten us.
when I'm in relationships. I feel so terrible when someone I'm with thinks I'm criticizing them when I'm not. And I try to make them understand, like, I'm not criticizing you. It's every fucking single one of you.
What a misdirect! You got me. I thought you weren't being sexist, and then you turned left, and there you was.
I hate all saggy tits, not just yours. Okay, honey, I love you.
This speaks to everything Aaron does. Is like he's Andrew Tate light. You know what I mean? Like he wants to be like this male influencer, but like he dips a toe into that and then doesn't really do it. When like Aaron does have a deep-seated thing with women, and I shouldn't say that definitively because I don't know the full SteelToe history, but like the clips I've seen of him getting fired for going after that woman, I'm never really this guy. It's like, hey, the lady's in a radio war, fucking go after her. You know what I mean? Like, who gives a shit? Just two people. But like the way Aaron talks, like there is a weird thing he has with women. Which hey, I'm all for. Go for it, Aaron. I don't really give a shit. But it's just weird that you're in the middle of this like revenge porn case, and you have all these people saying all these things about you on the internet. You now have two women who have filed paperwork that have asked you not to speak about them anymore. One of them is your ex-wife. You were in a sexual relationship with both of these women, and they've both said, please stop talking about me publicly. And Aaron still has this thing like, women are the worst. It's like, maybe you're the worst,
And you can't help it.
I'm not mad. I'm not mad.
That's right. I am not saying that this is a you problem. This is a problem that is endemic to your gender.
Got
You
their
can't
asses,
help
Aaron.
this. You can't fight science.
Yep, that's true. They are the problem. And it's good to see, and I'm sure the judge in Minnesota will say, like, this guy seems like he's learned not to harass these ladies.
You know what? There is a line of thinking that this new Aaron actually is going to be worse for his case because he's already spazzed. He's already, like, this is worse for him. Just
He's
talk
got
about
more-
Ricada.
That hearing is not until October 2nd. He's got
Oh my
months
God.
to unravel. And we're seeing just the very early stages of it. And by the way, to be clear, I don't give a like if Aaron's just like, oh, this is what women do. I don't give a fuck about that. It's just in general, like the way you can tell he has a real issue with women. And I'm never that guy. I try never to be that guy where it's like, here's what he's really saying. It's just Aaron does it so often that he's left me no choice but to be like, this guy's got an issue with women. He just does it all the time.
The greatest jaw in law right now is the paralegal who has to watch every minute of SteelToe and write down sort of everything that can be used against Aaron. That person's having a great time right now. They're just the
He's too
bosses
busy.
are like,
yeah, it's a holiday
you're doing
weekend.
a great job. Stress relief is the next one here.
Oh, I hope that means whittling away at the goal. That's how I relieve stress.
Just something bugging me. But
Sam Show says the real question is what's wrong with you today, Aaron? You shit your pants over a nothing text message. How long have people been watching this show? Do they not understand that me freaking out over nothing is like one of the funniest parts of this program? That it's
God.
Oh
God. Is that what we just watched?
Yeah, we all know that's the funniest part of this show. Mike.
That wasn't the stress relief. That was the comic relief that we just
Yes.
witnessed. Holy shit.
That was not the drama. That was the comedy.
I love doing that. You guys don't
performance.
you guys so don't get me. I'm having a blast when I do shit like that. Like when I'm freaking out over nothing, it's not lost on me that I'm freaking out over nothing, and it's kind of fun.
Oh, it's the
It's
audience.
kind of fun that for a job I get to.
We're analyzing what he just did. He's analyzing what he just did, Mike.
He's doing his own why are you laughing moments
Yes.
later.
It is. We're gonna make the ego. Oh my God.
Is this what I
vent-
sound like when I analyze like Don Rickles or something?
No, because you're not Don Rickles.
Oh, good. That's a good
Yeah.
point. Yeah.
Yeah. If you were, it would still be amazing as Don Rickles. This guy, it's like the boringest guy on the planet analyzing something the boringest guy on the planet just did.
Here's what I did. Let me peel the curtain back for a moment if I could get inside toe with you people. What I was doing, and you as the audience don't understand this, so I need to explain it to you. What I was just doing was hilarious. I was being hilarious. Don't you get it? What's wrong with you people?
and yell things that other people would like to, and they hold it in and they don't get to. And I get to do it while making people laugh. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when you're done, it's
I'm
like a stress
I'm
relief.
always holding up. This show that I do, where like we have clips and we react to things that I'm interested in. But meanwhile, what's simmering down below is I'm holding on to rage I have for my girlfriend, and I just want to say, "Don't text me, you fucking bitch!" But I don't have the guts to do that on air. I don't have the broadcasting acumen like Aaron. I'm not a skilled enough comedic mind the way Aaron is to just stop the show to do that every once in a while.
This is practically a therapy session.
Oh yeah, like much like you, I got shit I got to run around and drop off and do today, and then I got to pick up the kids, and then we got to go to the lake. Like my 10:30 to 12:30 is packed.
Whoa, hold on. Wait a minute. AM? My 10:30 to 12, much like you, man on a roof in July. Much like you, people counting down the minutes at an office job, just trying to pass through your mundane day till you hit the weekend and try to distract yourself with a little steel toe. Much like you, at 10:30, I'll be running errands. What a pompous, out of touch asshole to be like, yeah, just like you guys, 10:30 a.m. is quitting time, but then I've got other stuff to do in my life. That's what's really difficult. How did we get here, by the way? Someone was like, oh, you just freaked out on your girlfriend. And he's like, hey, listen, I have a life with at 10:30 in the morning, I have to go to the grocery store. And then I have to go to my parents' house on the lake. Don't you understand? I have problems. I'm just if you cut me, I bleed. I'm a person.
I have 2 hours ahead of me that I know what I'm doing. You know how terrible that is?
And by the way, like, what errands is he running that are exactly 2 hours?
Mm-hmm.
From 10:30 to 12:30, I'm jam-packed. What activity could that even be?
I'm thinking something's happening at 1. He's got to get it in by 1. So
We'll hear something even more hilarious, I believe, right after Aaron says that. Someone else chimes in with something even more unbelievable.
I got to.
I'm pretty much nonstop today.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure Johnny Crutches. This is a thing. I've talked about this before where a trend I hate in podcasting is people telling you how busy they are all the time. Oh man, I got so like particularly comics that are like getting more successful. And by the way, they are very busy. They have tours and like the more popular and famous you get, the more responsibilities you have, the more things you're in charge of. I'm not saying I don't believe it. I'm not saying it's not true. Like when Bert Kreischer is telling you how busy he is all the time. Or Segura is a big culprit of this. When they tell you how busy they are, I believe them. I think that's accurate. But what's insufferable on a podcast is them being like, oh, I'm just so busy. I miss the days when I had no money and nothing. See, that's just how life works. You know, you have more responsibilities as an adult. Everyone gets there. When you get into your 30s, that's just what happens in life. Even if you don't have kids, it's crazy. People can find things to be busy with. It's not interesting podcast fodder to be like, man, there are 2 hours later where I'm going to be packed with stuff to do. I don't give a shit. Talk to me now about the stuff you're interested in talking to me about. I don't care that you got to go to the grocery store later. It doesn't affect my life. It's not interesting to me.
that kind of podcasting is Schaub-like to me because Schaub's always got
Schaub is one of the worst offenders.
Yeah.
I run this many businesses and I bring my kids to baseball practice. It's like, do you think bringing your kids to baseball practice is something that the listener isn't faced with? Probably to a much more severe extent than you are, Brendan. Like, yeah, that to me is just, it should be banned from podcasting. The idea of being like, I'm so busy now. People don't understand how busy I am. No, we get it. We can wrap our minds around it. And the people listening to you are probably also busy.
Capital of Massachusetts, I believe.
So
capital of
Yeah, it is Massachusetts.
Okay.
We have a real Johnny Crutches on our show. We're about to learn. So me and Craig did a bonus show the other day, and we talked a little about Johnny Crutches in there because something came up on SteelToe where Aaron said that July has 31 days. I'm sure they were on the precipice of something hilarious and interesting. And Aaron says, July has 31 days. And Johnny Crutches goes, wait, always? And Aaron's like, what do you mean? And Johnny goes, does it always have 31 days? Because I know some months change. It was the most incredible. I don't think I've ever heard something quite that dumb ever said on a podcast by a man. Like if like on Stern, if like Gary the retard said that or something like that I'm excluding that. I'm saying from a guy who seems to be functional. Like I think Johnny Crutches as a kid, right?
That is
Do we know
information I do not know.
I
Chat,
think
does
he has.
have a kid?
I think he has a
Is he
child. You guys let me. I could be way off on that. Maybe I totally misunderstood a joke or something. But I thought he has a child. And this man, the wisdom he's bestowed, it must be like I Am Sam, that movie with
He does have a
Sean
child.
Penn, Sean Penn and Dakota Fanning. The child must be raising Johnny Crutches. Because I
Yes.
can't imagine having a kid and the kid being like, "What's the date today?" And Johnny's like, "Well, there's no way to really tell because the calendar's always changing." Like that was incredible to me. And this is a little more of the insight. Like I just thought Johnny Crutches was a physically disabled guy. I guess he's both kinds of disabled. You guys decide. Tell me if this is another one of the more ridiculous clips you've ever heard when it comes to someone's intelligence. They're going over state cap.
Massachusetts.
I mean, they're going over state. That wasn't clear by the title. They're going over state capitals because I guess there's one that I don't think he knew the capital of Minnesota, which is the state he lives in. So Aaron's actually a decent instinct by Aaron. Let's see what else this rube doesn't know. What's the capital of the state that I live in, Massachusetts?
Come
Shit,
on,
I
you
should
can
know
do
this
this.
one.
You can do this.
Fuck.
Do it. You're thinking too hard. Go with your instinct.
That's a fair. You know what? Aaron's giving him out. You might be thinking, as often happens with state capitals, you're like, well, it can't be Boston. He wouldn't even add. That's too obvious, right? Boston is so far away from Johnny Crutch's radar. You're going to be mystified. If that was his thought, if he's like, well, it can't be Boston. I don't know another town in Massachusetts or another city. I don't know. Worcester, is that a place I've heard of? If you were like that, okay. I'm not really begrudging you for that. Listen to Johnny's process here. This is wild.
New York? No.
Hold on, go back.
New York.
What did he just say?
New York? Is that what he said?
I believe so. Hold on.
That's
Uh,
listen to this.
Fuck.
Do it.
Uh,
You're thinking too hard. Go with your instinct.
New York? No.
Okay, when Aaron said you were thinking too hard, it didn't mean stop thinking. It didn't mean just have no thoughts in your head. New York? How would that be possible, Johnny? What does that mean? Oh, what's the capital of Massachusetts? Another state?
He watches no sports. Come on. How do you not know Boston is
That would
New
be
York's
wild.
in-
If the Yankees Red Sox rivalry was interstate, that would be incredible.
It's an intra-league scrimmage. every time they play.
Intrastate, I'm sorry.
In New York. I've got a cat yelling at me, so I want to mute it so you don't bitch about him.
I
Fucking
like when
I
people
don't.
do that when they're like, I just woke up. There's so much craziness going. How could you expect me to think of a state capital right now? Of course, I think New York is in Massachusetts. I have a cat in the other room. I can't think at a time like this. I love when people do that. Where you're like, hey, what's 6 times 8? And the guy's, I just woke up, man. What are you doing to me? What is this?
Starting to understand why Aaron has his own co-host as himself.
No.
Yeah,
It's
you're
the
right.
only-
The conversation was much more scintillating when it was Aaron and Aaron co-hosting.
At least I understood it. I don't understand.
City that's in fucking Massachusetts.
Again, I don't know.
How's that
Red
possible?
Sox.
Now, that is... I was almost mad at Aaron when I was listening to this because I'm like, well, you just gave it away. What fun is that for this game? Obviously, he's going to say the Boston Red Sox. Now you've ruined the game, Aaron. But shame on me for questioning Aaron's broadcasting instincts because that was of no help.
Chicago. Don't they have socks?
Hey, you're actually too close.
Fucking Philly? Philadelphia?
Philadelphia. You're saying
Yeah,
Philadelphia
the
is
Philadelphia
the
Red Sox.
capital of Massachusetts.
I'm telling you, I don't fucking know.
Boston.
Oh, shit.
Boston's the only city in Massachusetts, my man.
I mean, that's not true, but I get. But to Aaron's point, like yeah, that's the only one you would think of. Why not just throw that out even just as a give back? I know it's not this, but Boston. Like, it's the only city anyone would know if you're not from here. And that was wild, where I was like, well, I just don't make fun of Johnny Crutches anymore because, like, he's got to be dealing with a lot. Like, that's not a functional adult.
Yeah, I mean, those two answers were unexpected. That's for sure.
New York and Philly,
Philadelphia.
the capital of Massachusetts. Stunning.
His
Next one up.
definition of capital is a little off, I think.
And can I tell you something? What's even crazier? Aaron does nothing with that. Like, that clip ends, and he's like, all right, what's the capital of Oregon?
Salem. I know that one.
I think they both actually got that one wrong, but you're right.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
I almost got killed there.
No, we've all had Salem
What?
experiences.
Salem, yeah.
All right. Well, moving on.
Just leave that there.
Moving on, yep.
It's like Aaron.
Okay.
All right,
All right.
gonna move on to the next one.
Interesting.
Need motivation is the next one.
Okay. Yes, I can't be bogged down with where Electra's been murdered around the country. I got
Attempted.
attempted murder. I'm sorry. I've got to. We need motivation. We're talking about Johnny Crutches guessing state capitals, Electra being assaulted in different states.
Salem.
Let's focus. Let's get our heads in the game here. I need motivation. I got to start thinking goal again. So let's get back to it.
Yeah. 270 away from tomorrow morning. We got an hour and a half left. There is something about being
how I feel.
ahead where you've made $35 in a show and you go, I guess we're ahead. I guess we're ahead. I'd like to make
What a
more.
cunt. What an ungrateful cunt. It is so infuriating to me to hear this man. So what the people have done is knock out the goal of the current day that Aaron is in. And this ungrateful son of a bitch is saying, like, yeah, I guess, but you didn't give me enough money today. You gave me money yesterday that has gotten me through to tomorrow. But what about today? So today there's no goal. And Aaron is still saying, why haven't you given me more money? What a horse's ass this man is. How just disrespectful to his audience can he be to be like, I guess we've made enough money. It's fine.
Charge.
Thank you.
Yes.
Money is a great motivator. I will say that.
The only
Money
motivator.
is a fantastic motivator. If like the contributions were rolling in, I'd be fucking bounced. I mean, I think I've done a fine job as is, but right now I'm looking at
That was a legit. If you're watching, folks, if you're watching on YouTube, like and subscribe. That was a legitimate jaw drop that I did, and I've heard the clip already, and it still stunned me that he's like, "Listen, if you want me to do a good show, how about paying me?" And this is after they already did. They've paid. This show has been bought and paid for. The goal has been knocked out. He's already accepted that money. And he's like, I mean, if you guys want me to try today, how about paying me for tomorrow's show too? And then I'll put effort into today's show, and then tomorrow continue to wonder why you aren't paying me.
Forgetting the finger snapping, Mike. That's an important element.
Did he actually snap?
He snapped his fingers at us.
Oh my God. Did he really?
Yeah. He's like,
That's nuts.
I could be doing boom, boom, bang, boom, boom, these things, and I'm not doing them. That's
Come
what
on.
I'm doing.
Let's go.
Here, listen for it this time.
I'd be fucking bounced. I mean, I think I've done a fine job as is, but right now I'm looking at the clock going, hour and a half left. Just get through what you got. But
by the way, new show title, As Is, because that's what you get when you watch Aaron's show. You get it as is.
That would be like if you told, by the way, to again peel back the curtain here, the super chat thing that I do. I think you guys have watched long enough to know that's obviously a bit. You don't have to actually pay my mortgage for that show if that wasn't tongue in cheek enough for you. But what's crazy to me, even if it wasn't a bit, if I was being 100% serious, to then halfway through the show that I've already prepared, we have the clips ready to go. If I was just like, Casey, how much money have we made? And you told me some number and I was like, all right, let's just get through these clips and I'll fucking get out of here. Just play the clips and I'll throw a couple comments in and then we'll get out for the day. It's like, you've already got the material, Aaron. Make a show out of it. Don't go like, I guess we'll talk about this stuff, but you guys really aren't paying me. It's so crazy to treat your audience like this. And frankly, I don't give a fuck about Aaron's audience. Whatever. But this is so egregious that I have to step in at someone has to step in and say this is wrong.
I think it's audience abuse.
It really
you have to protect Ballsack and all those members in that chat over there with the great names.
Ballsack's a good man.
Yeah.
If we made a run, oh my God, you know how pumped I get. So go ahead and keep us ahead. I have a feeling
that's the audience's motivation is literally to watch Aaron be happy. It reminds me of the late great Dave Cullinane, my friend, who said that he's like, yeah, I don't really care about my birthday, but my kids get really excited for it. And I was like, do you think they really do? Or are they just putting on a good face for dad? Hey, Dad, it's your birthday. He's like, yeah, my kids get really excited for my birthday. To think that is wild. Aaron thinks like, hey, don't you guys, isn't your enjoyment from this show, like when I'm really happy about the goal, isn't that what you like most? And first of all, for most of us, it's actually the best part of the show is when he's bummed that no donations are coming in. This is the best part to me, and I assume many others out there. But let's pretend that actual SteelToe fans exist that want Aaron to talk about the subjects he's prepared. Why would they give a fuck about how much money has come in? I've never been able to understand that, and Aaron's never done a great job articulating it.
Mike, I have a whole new philosophy here. I think psychologically, Aaron does this show. We are his mother. He's doing the show to his mother because he thinks we like it when he's happy. Who the fuck cares if you're happy? Your mom, that's it. Yeah. Who thinks he's goofy and silly? His mom. He is doing this show, subconsciously.
There might actually be something to that because he talks about being a good boy and all that.
If you watch it from this perspective now, things are going to start to make sense. Why he's like, aren't I a good little boy? Who would you say that to?
Yeah, I've buried my past. I've learned all these lessons. I think you're onto something, Casey. Groundbreaking. Yeah. Tweet that out, folks. Casey has just blown this case wide open.
Yeah, we're all Ballsack's his mom. We are all his mom.
That tomorrow morning, I was really
new title, Ballsack's his mom.
Hoping that we get through tomorrow morning before tomorrow morning. And
listen to that sentence.
Come up
I have a
listen to that sentence.
Look, Mom, I have money for 2 days. I'm doing good, Mom.
I really thought we were gonna get through tomorrow morning before tomorrow morning. Yeah, he's literally saying, I wish we could just get tomorrow's show over with now. That's not me reading into his words. That's what he's saying.
But if we made a run, oh my God, you know how pumped I get. So go ahead and keep us ahead. I have a feeling that tomorrow morning, I was really hoping that we'd get through tomorrow morning before tomorrow morning. And
you think it's going to come up against it?
I have a feeling that we're going to be knocking out a goal tomorrow morning. I do.
Okay.
I think we're going to be knocking out.
How could they do that to you, Aaron?
Sorry.
How could these ungrateful pieces of trash do that to you?
Mom, don't do this to me, Mom.
Well, hopefully
they haven't paid you in advance. There's a commercial I always get on YouTube, and I'm sure I'll get it more now that I'm talking about it. There's a commercial I always get if it's for some app. And I forget what the name of it is, but the premise of the app is they pay you in advance. They give you your paycheck early. And one of the commercials I get is some lady going isn't it ridiculous that you work every day and your employer only pays you every other week? And I always hear that commercial and I'm like, nah, it seems like a pretty reasonable trade-off. I wouldn't want my paycheck every day. But Aaron is saying like, no, you guys are being silly. Why? I work for you every day. Why don't you pay me every day instead of once a month or once every 2 weeks? You should give me money every day for the good job I'm doing every single day. It's crazy. It's just not how the economy works. It's not how anything works.
I'm wondering if he did a goal show like you have done, where it's just, once or twice a month where it's just the money.
I couldn't do it once or twice a month. Once a year is fine.
No, I'm saying Aaron. If
Yeah.
Aaron did a goal show, could he generate more money on the goal show days to make up for all the other days where he's hustling this goal thing? Like, just
I
do a
wonder
goal
how
show.
long that would take to dry up. And now that we're saying it, there's a chance he'll do it. So I'll be interested to see.
Knocking out a goal. I wanted to stay ahead the whole week. I really did, but I got to do a show.
I mean, why not do a telethon at the beginning of the year and just get ahead 6 months?
Right. That's what I mean. Hey, let's make $100,000 today.
Yeah.
And I will.
Never
And
see
then
it
I'll
again.
do a show for the rest of the year.
He'll just disappear.
That's worthy of that. We're a whopping 270 away. Yeah, I'd say unless we got under 200 today, like during the morning show, I don't think we're gonna hammer out.
Could still happen.
It's possible. We'll see.
By the way, like it shouldn't. What we just said actually shouldn't be ridiculous because, like, there's on Patreon you can go subscribe for the year. You get a little deal out of it, so you get a year's content for $50 or $100 or whatever the number is. That seems reasonable. If you did a goal show at the beginning of the year, so let's knock out the goal for the whole year. In theory, that should actually be doable because each individual would only have to pay you X amount of dollars, $100 or something. But with Aaron, it's no. You have to be a member. You have to pay every single month. And then on some weeks, you have to give me upwards of $400. Like if you look at those leaderboards that he keeps, sometimes the leader is $400+ for the week that they've given Aaron. That's more than you spend for a year of almost any Patreon. I don't know of a Patreon that charges you $400 for the year. That's crazy.
Nope.
By God, Aaron does it.
I'm getting a little scared here, Mike, because the next one's called Losing Lead, and that is fucking with my OCD.
Oh,
We've
fuck.
built this lead.
Oh, I've been dicking around this whole time. I didn't know we were going to lose the lead at some point. All right, now you're going to get serious, Mike. I'm sorry. I've been goofing off all this time. We better not be losing the fucking lead here. This better be mislabeled because I don't like the sound of it.
Maybe it's losing lead. Maybe we're losing
I
some
hope
lead.
so.
Oh, shit. 270 away from tomorrow morning's goal. We're one of the happiest things. One of my happiest things is when we're ahead by a lot. One of the saddest things is when we stop.
That lead diminishes.
Yeah.
Hold on.
it's the-
There is so much that he just said in those few words there. First of all, one of the happiest moments he experiences is getting ahead of the goal. This is a man with like 4 children, right? Doesn't he have a bunch of kids?
Not as exciting as being ahead in the goal, Mike.
This is one of the greatest things I could experience. is being ahead of the goal. But here now he's like, I'm losing that happiness, and you're doing it to me. That's the next phase of what he's saying here. You, the audience, you're taking away my happiness. Listen, I may not like every comment that comes in, Sometimes they hurt my feelings, these people. But to have a relationship with your audience where you regularly say, hey, you're taking away my happiness by not giving me money. That is like truly sick. It's such a disgusting notion. The idea that the audience is tormenting Aaron by not giving him more money. They've already given some money, but now they need to give him more money or he's losing his happiness. That's a sick codependent relationship.
they're teasing him, Mike. They get him halfway there. They're not finishing him off. You're just leaving him stand there with a boner. That's not good.
Yeah, you there, you that is giving me $5 instead of $10. Why are you doing this to me? Why are you taking away my happiness? That is a real sickness. But now, on top of those other two attributes that we just piled up here, the third, the icing on the cake, he's $270 ahead.
Yes,
He's still way ahead. He's into tomorrow's goal. It's crazy.
The lead diminishes. It makes me, I'll be honest, it makes me sleep. I'm sleepy right now. I'm tired doing this morning's show. I think those people who say that the goal like keeps us amped, keeps the adrenaline up, I think they're kind of right.
Part of that is true.
Well, you're welcome, dickhead. I've been saying
That's
that for a year. You accused me of stealing the Beggy Monster from you. That's how you've slandered my name. And all I do is try and help the program, you son of a bitch.
You're just trying to make him happy the whole time, not sad.
All I did was try and get everyone to respect the goal. And you gave me bupkis, Aaron. That's what I got out of this deal. You shit on me for it.
Yeah, and he was like, the goal's not a thing. It's not a noun. And look who's nouning it up with goal now.
He's like, hey, I think they're right. I think all those people that said we need the goal, they're right. Well, you're welcome. I've been screaming it from the mountaintops.
All those streamers that did goal shows, specifically titled Goal. All them. Yeah.
Yes.
I think they're a little bit right.
A little bit, right.
I don't mind the occasional no goal day,
But not too
but
often.
I think I might appreciate.
Because I'll have nothing to talk about. If we do it too often, I'll have literally nothing to say.
By the way, no goal day does not exist because we are at a no goal day and he is not happy.
He's
This
talked
is-
about the goal an extensive amount.
More.
More than he usually would.
Yes,
And
he
he's
needs to
talked
live-
about, this is a no-goal day, and he spent most of his time talking about how someday there might be a goal again. And how we should all prepare for that. This is like when people that were crazy about COVID, like I'm talking years in, where they started to be like, "Did you hear there's a new strain? Huh?
Mhm.
Yeah, there's another we better stay inside this winter, huh?" And everyone was like, "No, we did that for a couple of we're good. No big deal." And they're like, "I don't know. I'm hearing this one's dangerous." And they're saying it with like a smile on their face. You're like, "You're hoping it comes back?" That's what Aaron is with the goal. He's like, "I don't know. Tomorrow there might be a goal. You guys might have to give to the goal tomorrow. Don't you want to get ahead of that?"
He's like walking through the desert and given 2 days of water, and he's like, "What's this extra day worth? I don't even want this because then I have to got to think about next week's worth. Just give me the day."
Those greedy cheeks are filled with cum and dollar bills. He's just squirreling them away in those greedy cheeks of his and smiling coyly at us.
The side
Well.
quest of the goal.
All right, missing the rush. I assume of the goal.
I gotta be honest, I'm with him. Like this, just talking about the goal from a perspective of being way ahead, that's not doing it for me. That's not getting my juices flowing. What I need is life or death. I need to think the goal, what are you looking at me like that for? Is the goal right behind me? Ha! That's what I need in my life. I need the goal to be looming over me at all times.
Let's continue on with today's show. Maybe the next story we'll do will be the one where we make a couple of bucks and make a.
What do you
know what I
mean?
think?
What does that mean? The next story will be the one where we make a couple of bucks. Like Aaron is an old time stories here. I've got stories for sale.
He's a gumball machine. Put a nickel in, you get a story.
I think it is. There's like when you have a goal, when you're not ahead and you have a goal. There's
Stop by
that
for
rush.
$1 for stories. You're gonna want to read this, folks. Tucker Carlson had RFK on his podcast. Hear ye, hear ye. Come one, come all. Just takes $1. Step right up.
Like the gifted memberships and everything, and it's knocking down a number and it feels good. And then when like everybody's chilling, everybody's hanging back and they're like, fuck, we're so far ahead, who gives a shit? Like you lose that.
We're on our chilling yacht where we don't have to
the
donate.
fantasy land that this man lives in. Like, I'm just, where we're sitting listening to SteelToe. We're all just in our, because first of all, he's already explained it's a holiday weekend. This was Tuesday, by the way. He's like, yeah, it's a holiday weekend. No one's working. So he's like, hey, I know where you guys are right now. You're on your pool floats. You're lounging, umbrella drink, soaking up those rays, baby. But here's what I got to do. I'd be an irresponsible broadcaster if I didn't remind you, float to shore. Grab that wallet of yours, because we're not in vacation mode yet. You can relax all you want. The picture Aaron has painted is like we're all being lazy while we listen to this show. And what you should be doing is checking your finances, Get in your Fidelity account, move whatever money around that needs be moved, and clear up some space for the toe. We're not on the 4th of July yet, baby. Well, we're getting to the holiday, but we're not there yet. Go back a little ways, because I want to hear him describe what the audience is doing right now. This is imagining these people at home like, hey, man, this is a week not to stress. Mm-hmm. We've done it. We've knocked out the goal. And Aaron reminding you, no, you haven't, actually. It's such a crazy relationship to have with your audience.
I put my checkbook away. You mean I got to take it out again? God damn you.
Much of like the gifted memberships and everything, and it's knocking down a number, and it feels good. And then when like everybody's chilling, everybody's hanging back, and they're like, fuck, we're so far ahead, who gives a shit? Like, you lose that rush.
Yeah.
And then you're like,
stop it. You lose that rush. We're so far ahead, who gives a shit? Boy, it's much like the old adage of the tortoise and the hare, isn't it, Aaron? Your audience is that arrogant hare who's gotten such a lead. And it seems the tortoise, which is, I guess, just numbers? I don't know. It's the goal. The tortoise is the goal. And it's slow and steady. It's creeping up on them. They don't realize they could lose this race. They're being, frankly, pompous, these assholes that thought they could take a day not to give to the goal. How rude and disrespectful of them. Frankly, thoughtless. That they thought they could just take a day to themselves. And you know why that is? Because they're not experiencing the rush. Usually, it's like, what was that Jason Statham movie? Crank? Where he's got to keep his heartbeat going?
Yes, cranking.
Usually it's like that. We're right up to the last minute. Aaron's like, guys, we need more money. We're $50 away. Hurry up. And people are like, oh, fuck. This is my lifeblood. This is giving me a reason to live. But today, they don't need that adrenaline. They're just like, hey, man, Lord Steven got us. He paid the goal way. So we don't need. And then what happens there is you get lackadaisical. You forget. You're like, oh, fuck. I forgot there's going to be a goal tomorrow. Shit. I better get ahead of this.
Yes, we have Steven to thank for all this. Thank you, Steven.
Thank you, Steven.
Like, all right, well, I guess. Because then kind of what we're doing is we're just doing like rip and read. We're just like, all right, next story. Yeah. You're not really
the excitement dies down a little.
Yeah, you're not really in the chat as.
What? If I'm giving you money, you're not trying hard now? You son of a bitch. I thought your motivation was totally hinged on whether or not we gave you money. Now we gave you enough money that you don't have to worry about money until tomorrow. And you're still like, all right, rip and read. Fuck it. There's bombing in the Middle East, I guess. I don't know. What did we bomb Iran or something? All right, I don't know. Johnny, anything interesting happened in your life? Oh, you don't know where Massachusetts is? All right. Let's talk about that for 5 minutes, I guess. What an asshole.
As much, because if there's not Rumble rants and super chats, I'm not really going into the chat. But if there's Rumble rants and super chats, I'm going.
We've seen you do it. You've almost exclusively done it.
Going into the chat. I'll pick out a few free ones while I'm doing the other ones. But like, if there's nothing to read, there's nothing to read. We just continue on. So we're 270 away from.
his show, if you want him to do a good show, you have to be super chatting. Not just from a monetary perspective. Of course, that is paramount. That's the lifeblood of SteelToe. So do be giving. But also, the reason you want him to be super chatting is because without that, he won't look at the chat at all. And without that, there is no show. All he's doing is, as he says, ripping and reading. Just reading a headline. Oh, a TikToker was arrested for some wacky shit in wherever the fuck, Minnesota. All right, next story. That's what his show is if you're not pumping that chat, keeping the chat lively. Why are you guys paying for this experience? It seems like you're the boss. You keep the lights on there. Why are you paying for this? You should be getting paid for giving Aaron something to talk about.
Tomorrow morning, and it looks like our time as a show that is ahead is coming
to a close.
Coming to an end. We got about an hour left today, and then we've got 2 hours tonight. So we got about 3 hours of being ahead left, and then we got one more day. Again, I need to make it very clear. The goals need to be knocked out in advance. So, like, if we get to Wednesday,
just imagining the church bells sounding as the clock strikes 3 hours, where Aaron has to close down SteelToe Inc. behind. I tasted that Rocky Mountain High for a moment, but you can't live life up there, you know?
I paid one bill ahead, and it felt good. I paid it before it came in. It's amazing.
There's still a goal. No Thursday show. Like I said, it's got to be get ahead and stay ahead, or
punishment.
I'm going to take a nice early 4th of July trip.
Or just do that. So I'm going to I'll be in New Jersey for the weekend, going to a Yankees game.
What's the capital?
New Jersey, I actually don't know. Boston.
I don't know. Boston. Congratulations, that's correct.
But I'm going with or without you guys. Sorry, you don't take part in that part of my life. You know, I'm doing a Tuesday night show to try and make it up to you, and maybe I'll do if things are going on. Maybe I'll do a show Monday when I get back or something. But here's what I don't do. Is make you some guilty party in my life where it's like, I don't get to enjoy myself if you do give me money, but if you don't give me money, then I'll make you feel guilty. There's this, I keep calling it codependent, but I feel like I'm misusing that. It's one-way dependence, right?
Yeah, there's no about it.
But he's making them feel codependent in some bizarre way.
He's trying to trap you into a codependency. That's his game with his ladies and his fans.
Aaron, you want to take Thursday off? Here's my advice. Just fucking do it. Who gives a shit? Some people might give you a shit for it and be like, hey, what the fuck? I thought we were getting a Thursday show. And by Monday, that'll be out of your life, the idea of that comment. If you keep doing good shows, no one will give a fuck that you weren't around Thursday. It's so strange to hold them hostage where you're like, I guess you guys don't want a Thursday show. What does that ring? Do you hear that?
Yeah, it's my phone. Sorry, I'm turning them down.
Oh, I thought we were close to the goal. I was like, wow, 600,000 already? Very good.
All right, should have stayed in bed. What?
If you think the title is bad, that's where it's going. If you're like, oh, Mike's doing that classic misdirect. Nope. This is where we're going. Where Aaron just like, I guess I shouldn't have woken up today. So far we've heard him say, hey, I guess you guys don't deserve a show on Thursday. You pieces of shit. You ungrateful brats. You're all spoiled, and I'm taking your Thursday show away. Now he's saying, I shouldn't have even woken up today. There was no reason for me to get out of the bed this morning.
Please show me that. We are $250 away from tomorrow morning's goal. I would love it if I would go back to the chat after a story and we'd see a little a run up here. At the very least, we got to get to the dentist's favorite time today.
Oh no, we don't.
We started at 300 away
I could
from
explain what
tomorrow.
that means, but I don't feel like it.
And I don't care. So
We'll
we're
just
good.
good. All right. Who's a deal?
Moving on.
We'll soldier on.
Handshaking.
A morning's goal.
All right,
We
that's fair.
If
but
we wrap up at 250, this is a pathetic show, and I should have stayed in bed. Are you kidding? Like,
Why?
even on a day when we're
What? No, Aaron. You're not missing the goal by 250. You're $250 away from a goal that hasn't happened yet, which would be tomorrow's goal. You have the rest of this show for people to give you money and the evening show. And you've already gone to the mode of, all right, I guess you guys don't fucking like the show. I guess you all hate me. I guess I'm just a stupid, ugly bitch that you all hate. And we have to go, oh no, Aaron, you're so pretty. Oh no, Aaron, we like you so much. You're our best friend. We love you. And he's like, really? You mean it? You guys like me? Yes, of course, sweet baby. Of course, here's some money. Here, have a few dollars. That's how much we love you. Oh, good. Because when you don't give me money, I start to think you guys don't like me. This is the manipulative stuff that we heard Keanu talk about. And she's apparently forgotten she said that, but she was right. We're like, this is manipulative Aaron. This is what his spouses have had to deal with, and people in his life have had to deal with this guilt trip of like, okay, I guess you don't like me anymore. I guess I'll go away for a while. And we're like, Aaron, but what are we going to do Thursday without you? Here's money.
And Aaron, next time you get ahead, right? Next time Steven gets you 800 ahead, total the amount for the week that you need, right? So if it's 2,500 for the week that you need, you'll be like, all right, well, we're 2,470 away for the week. That way I don't feel like it's day-based. Like he's basing it on
Your math was a little off there, but
well, you get what I'm saying.
I get
Like,
what you're saying.
I feel like I'm worrying about the day, but we got the day covered. But if you told me like there's a bigger goal out there for the week, I might pull the checkbook out again, you know?
I guess, but also I don't give a fuck if this guy has made enough money for the week.
No, he needs to be happy, Mike.
I don't imagine, like, so there are people that just out of the kindness of their heart, they don't even really give a fuck about this show, but they hear me on like Kirk's show or whatever, and they're like, "Hey, Mike, you know what? Here's $5 a month. It's nothing to me. I like you. You seem like a nice guy." I can't imagine, as nice as those people are, and as much as I appreciate that, if they go home and think like, God, but is that $5 a month going to be enough for him to pay his, like, what are his other finances like? That's a sickness that they're dealing with that I can't consume myself with worrying about, you know? Like, that's so crazy. If Aaron's trying to make them not just pay him to be nice, but then also like worry about his finances on a day-to-day level.
Mm-hmm. Let us see a P&L, Aaron, every day. Let's see what your costs are. Let us really get in with you on this business of your life. Let us own part of you.
I've said it before. People will be more excited and ready to pay their taxes if every year you got to break down, hey, here's what your tax money went to. You know, we paved this road, we funded this school, blah, blah, blah. Then people might actually be like, hey, my taxes are going somewhere. I'm ready to pay my tax money next year. If Aaron gave us a list, like, here's what the goal money goes to, then I would be like, all right, I want to help Aaron pay this bill. But what I believe to be true is that we're just funding a lot of Aaron's golfing that he does.
Yes, and that's probably why 10:30 to 12:30 is very specific
He's swamped.
timing.
He's playing 9, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because you can get 18 in at 1 p.m., but if you go at 3 p.m., you can't get 18 in. So my guarantee is that he's golfing that day.
we're ahead, $50 is fucking pathetic. Like, that's not worth getting out of bed for.
How dare you? I don't know what our super chat total is for the day. I have no idea. If it's $50, you've been more than generous, folks. You don't owe me
60, so yeah.
You don't owe me that money, Starberry. It's much appreciated. To go, if I said to Starberry, boy, what a fucking loser. All you gave me is $60. I bet you have way more than $60. Why didn't you give me the more that you have instead of just 60? That is so disrespectful to these people. It's so crazy that he doesn't get that.
in my humble opinion. I don't, that's the other thing. People are like, well, don't you just do this because you love it? No. I mean, I do love it.
Well, that is honest. God damn.
Well, the first half of it was honest.
God
Then when he
damn.
goes, I mean, I do love it. That's the dishonest part.
Yeah. No, hold on. Let me pull that back in.
Do I do this because I love it? No. Now, here's what Aaron's trying to say, but he's too fucking greedy and unaware of himself to articulate it. Like, I happen to do this for a living. If I couldn't anymore, like if I stopped making money podcasting, I probably wouldn't be able to do it as much. And I think ultimately that's what Aaron's trying to say. You know what I mean? Like, he wouldn't have the time. If he had to get a 9-to-5 job, certainly he wouldn't have the time to broadcast 6-7 hours a day. That's totally understandable. But what Aaron is saying is money up front.
Mm-hmm.
Not like, hey, if I make enough money, I'll continue broadcasting. If I don't, eventually I'll have to get another job. Aaron's saying, pay me now, and I'll get around to doing a good show eventually. That's a crazy trade-off to be negotiating with these people.
And I've seen no evidence of the good show ever.
Right.
So
I really enjoy doing that.
To me, and I get this is a matter of taste. The best shows are when he's not making money and explaining to people why they have to pay him. Those are the best shows.
Yeah, and giving us in detail how we can borrow against the goal in the future. Stuff like
It's
that.
called
That's
margin
the best.
investing. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not why I fucking do it. Are you kidding? There's a lot of things I love doing. All right. I ain't getting up at 5 a.m. to do them. That's for sure.
Aaron, who is making you do that? You know what time this show starts, Casey?
Oh boy, do I. I get up at 5 a.m. on the Pacific, and it starts at 7 a.m. on the Pacific.
It was actually a bad example. I forgot I'm being totally disrespectful to you. But it's 10 a.m. where I live. And that's because that's a time where I like to do it. And genuinely, like, jokes aside, if Casey Day was like, hey, I can't do it in the morning, I'd be like, all right, let's find another time. You know what I mean?
Oh.
There's not, you genuinely, you're welcome to do that. Aaron has kind of guilted me into having to say that, but it's true. But like, we could absolutely find another time. This just happens to be the time that I've found that works. You know, like it's a week wrap up. There's nothing else going on Sunday morning. It just seems to be the time this audience likes the show. Like, I noticed we have less viewers when you do those. When we do Who Are They Socials on this channel, it gets less viewers. I don't know why that is. It just happens to be the case. So I found Sunday to work for me. If I found another time that works better, that's when I would do the show. This idea that Aaron is like, I slave for you people. Is it not enough that I wake up at 5 a.m? You choose to do that. There are no time slots in podcasting. Do it at 8 a.m. Do it at 4 p.m. Who gives a shit? Do it whenever you want, Aaron. You are, and again, like, Johnny Crutches is on there sometimes. It's mostly just Aaron. I don't know who he is beholden to start this process at 5 a.m. That's on his own schedule. Do it whenever the fuck you want.
Yeah, it's in his basement. And he presses buttons. There is no shovel in his hand. You know?
Right.
This is not hard work. Power Trip is the next one here.
Oh, this is a little taste of who Aaron thinks he is. Like, I'm a fan of a lot of people that talk like this and have throughout. Howard Stern, it's like what he did. He was, one of the forefathers of this type of talk. But Howard Stern earned that. It's what I always say, like, when we're talking about Stuttering John. Stuttering John will always say things like, well, Howard would do this. Yeah, Howard was number one. Howard had a legion of people that would do fucking anything for. You know what I mean? Like, he had this group of fans that was extremely loyal to him. He had this staff that was fiercely loyal to him. Howard could get away with talking like he was the leader of a small nation. Because in a way, he was, in this weird way. John never earned that. Aaron has never earned this. Aaron talks like this all the time. Listen to the power trip that he went on. My understanding, and I don't know how true this is, Aaron, if I'm getting this wrong, I apologize. I'm listening to the propaganda that Patrick Melton puts out there. But my understanding was that Aaron, in a way, like, paid for airtime. Like, he would sell his own ads, and in return, the radio station gave him this block of time. And he was good enough at selling ads that he had the morning show on this St. Cloud, Minnesota radio station. And for those that don't know, St. Cloud is the third biggest market in Minnesota, which makes it like the 180th biggest market in the country. To me, that doesn't give you a lot of room to be a diva. But Aaron sees it differently. This is him describing, in his own words, how he behaved at his old radio station.
King Kong Dong with $1 says, this rant reminds me of the soundboard rant from 101. Well, I just hate it when people who don't do it are like, oh, maybe it's something with you that you think that. No, the story is very clearly about people getting finger popped. So therefore,
again, I could explain, but what's the point? You know,
Don't need it.
And now it's not fun to joke about anymore.
Yeah, the soundboard rant at 101 was always about how you're like, I have the settings in a very particular way, and people come in here and touch them, and nobody has any business.
And not only that,
the board.
none of them do anything live. They shouldn't even be in my studio. That's what I always said that pissed people off, because the boss was fucking the midday chick. So I was like, how about the fucking midday gal doesn't touch my fucking board? In fact,
this is a rant, and I'm like, if I was sitting in Kirk's studio and he was talking like this about the EEI days or something, Kirk earned that. Howard Stern earned that. Opie and Anthony earned rants like this. A guy in the third market in Minnesota saying that no one else should be allowed to use my studio when they probably only have an 800 square foot office, I'm imagining. The idea, the delusion of that, and this gets into the delusion of Aaron saying, like, well, I'm one of the best 3 broadcasters of all time. And somehow he puts Bubba the Love Sponge and Anthony Cumia in there. Anthony, I'll give you. But he's like, yeah, it's me, Bubba, and Anthony are the 3 greatest of all time.
My God.
I think that's weird to put Bubba in that category. But if you want to talk about Bubba has earned, I don't know a lot about Bubba the Love Sponge. If he has an ego like that, given what he's done in that Florida market, he's earned it. Aaron hasn't earned, this is just an entitlement that has no background. It's an entitlement that is completely unearned. And that's the crazy thing to me about it. Like, I totally get in radio, sometimes, like, could be very entertaining. Even you might pump this up when, like, maybe even Aaron doesn't really feel this way, but you build it up to entertain the audience. But me, and I think anyone with like a discerning ear would be listening to this thinking, who the fuck are you, Aaron Imholte? How do you get to tell the other shows they don't get to use your studio in St. Cloud, Minnesota? When I've seen it questioned, and Patrick has his biases too, I suppose, but I've seen Patrick put out numbers out there where it's like, Aaron wasn't even number 1 in St. Cloud. So listen to, like, he still thinks this way. That's the other thing, too, is if you listen to a lot of the guys that I named, years later, they might reflect on this rant and say, like, oh, yeah, I was being a dick. You know, whether it's purposeful or they got in their own head or whatever, they might say, yeah, I was being a dick. Listen to Aaron reflect on this years later and be like, I probably should have gone a little harder. This was warranted.
Stern doesn't even recognize the guy that used to be.
Well, that's
Stern.
a different. That's too far the other way. But
Yeah.
Only be the SteelToe studio. Nobody else should be allowed to use this studio. There's countless other studios in this building. Do you have a fucking 35 share? I don't think so.
I don't really believe that number, by the way.
Well, maybe he's talking about Stonies. 35% of Stonies was listening at one point.
Maybe. I don't know.
Out of my fucking studio. Leave my levels where I need them. Don't touch a goddamn thing. And I don't think that that's too much to ask.
It's not.
Apparently what?
It's not too much to ask for no one else in the building to use the studio? That's crazy. The studio wouldn't exist. There's no way Aaron was making enough revenue to just go on 4 hours a day and then have the radio station shut down.
Like, I don't know what you're talking about. This is like his Hotel California, this 101 soundboard bit. I could just hear this all day. It's just
Like, so in Boston, and for people that don't like really know radio numbers, that's confusing. A 35 share
Insane.
means
That's
35% of the radios that were on were listening to SteelToe in that market.
Howard barely got those numbers in his peak. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, that sounds off to me, but let's pretend he's right. Like Mike Felger in Boston
Ooh.
does like numbers like kind of approaching that. And if he went on a rant like this, you might be like, hey, they've earned it. But you could still say like, hey, the other shows on that station are also bringing in ratings. Aaron is on such a power trip that he thinks he is Howard Stern, where he's like, who else even is there at the station?
Apparently, I was being an asshole.
Yeah.
I mean, two things can be true at the same time.
That's a good point. That's a good point. But I wasn't an asshole for that reason. That was a completely reasonable thing to suggest.
No, it wasn't.
All right, we made our 50 fucking bucks for today. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants. You yuck shit.
It is $50 over.
Go. Yeah, it's $50 more than they needed when the day started. But go back a little bit. Listen to how he refers to that $50.
Suggest.
$50. What is that? What reaction is elicited when you hear strangers gave you $50? What noises does that invoke?
All right, we made our 50 fucking bucks for today. Streamlabs, PayPal, Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants. You yuck shit. That's
Isn't that unbelievable? Ew, yuck, shit is the thanks you get. The people that gave that $50. However, if you give it $2 at a time or whatever, the people that gave that $50, the reaction you get is ew, yuck, shit.
Who
In
does
other
he
words,
think he is?
thanks for fucking nothing. Right, exactly.
Oh.
We need a thing on YouTube where you give money, but you can take it back until the end of the show. Because right now I'd be refund.
Like Aaron's YouTube channel is the same size as mine. And I know I haven't earned that. You know what I mean? Like, I haven't earned the right to talk to people that way. To be like, oh, you only give me $50 today? Yuck. Like, that's crazy. So I know that there's no way Aaron should feel that way. Just because he's been in radio for 11 years now or whatever it's been. That doesn't mean you've earned that entitlement. It's so crazy.
actually an Asian man that I'm texting. I'm not saying
Okay.
that to you guys. Peter.
Oh, ain't I a stinker? I wanted to leave that laugh in because he's just that's him getting joy from himself. Yeah, aren't I funny, guys? It's like, yeah, I suppose.
He really fashions himself as like the kid bully in a movie, right? He's like the redheaded bully.
Well, there's that. There's a little bit of that. But I was thinking about this listening to these clips. Aaron is the guy where if you were scripting a sitcom or something, and there was a guy who, like, you needed a character that was clearly being fake. Like, he presented this positive, like, hey guys, come on, what do you say? Give us a few bucks, come on. Aaron has the attitude of a guy, like, if you're looking for a character that is so clearly disingenuous,
Yeah.
like, this is the fake guy that us, the viewer at home, questions.
Mhm.
Like, oh, there's going to be another shoe that drops. This guy's being a fraud. And I say sitcom because it has to be so over the top, where it's like, how are the other characters in this show not getting it? That's Aaron Imholte.
Oh my god.
That's
You
Aaron
just-
Imholte. Where he's an
like-
over-the-top caricature of a guy who's being disingenuous.
After Seinfeld ended, if they had George turn into a radio talk show host and be Aaron Imholte, it's Costanza.
Right.
Think about it.
Stanza trying to raise money for a cause he doesn't believe in.
He doesn't care about it at all, but he's
Yeah.
just, we need the money, people.
Yeah.
And being totally delusional that he's, so
He's
much better than
Costanza.
he really
He
is.
deserves it.
Yes.
He's earned it.
Yeah.
He is Costanza working for the Yankees. He is. Man. That's fucking
Yeah.
Fair.
Oh, this next one here is called Running Out the Clock.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I guess if you guys aren't going to give money, we'll just fucking twiddle our thumbs here. All right.
What do you mean? We're a day ahead, asshole.
Ah.
We gave. We're ahead.
Yeah, but just a day, We've dipped
So,
tomorrow's goal. We haven't dipped into next Monday's goal, which is what he's thinking about on Tuesday of this week. Is next Monday's goal is where Aaron's head is.
Somebody too with $1 says Aaron trying his best. Oh boy, let's see. This is a clip of Aaron trying his best. You guys want to throw in a few more super chats and rumble rants? I'll be happy to go back to the chat. Otherwise, we're just going to run out the fucking clock on a day where we made a whopping $50. Trying to stay.
Some of you guys might not be sports fans. Let me define run out the clock. It's when, like in football, if the team has a big enough lead, they don't need to play anymore. If there's a small enough amount of time on the clock. So what they do is they take a knee. They stop playing the game. That's what Aaron is doing. Where he's like, yeah, we're just not going to fucking do a show. We're just going to sit here. Why not end the show, honestly?
Because he keeps talking. He doesn't actually end it. He still talks.
Right. Like if you're at that point, just be like, hey guys, we've done enough with the goal and everything. I don't have any other stories that interest me. Like honestly, what time is it? I thought this show
12:25.
I thought this show was honestly going to be like an hour and a half. We've already done 2.5 hours, and we have more left. So I was way off on how long this would take. But if it was done after an hour and a half, we usually do around 3 hours, maybe 2.5 sometimes. I wouldn't just sit here for an hour and go, all right, what did the chat got anything? We got an hour left, so let's go. I would just be like, all right, guys, that's it. See you. See you next week. You know?
Ahead and knock out all of our goals for the week. 250 away from tomorrow morning. If you thought we did a show that was worth a fuck today, show us by dropping in a couple of bucks or a sub. Links are in the chat.
What? You told us that it was going to suck.
Yeah. He's in vacation. Remember at the beginning? He's like, hey, we're taking it easy. What happened to that guy?
Different guy.
Wise. Yeah, fuck it. We got a couple stories left. When I'm done with those, we'll head out.
Fuck it. That's the spirit, Aaron. Fuck it. I guess I'll just lackadaisically meander through these stories. I'll just go through the motions with you. And not just go through the motions, but say out loud that that's what I'm doing. Like, I don't have any passion for what we're about to do, but here we are. We're doing it anyways.
I will say the words you think you want to hear, but no one cares.
Yep.
$5, please. Someone give me. Worst case is the next one.
Okay, imagine the worst possible case. If you're still, I would imagine like if you're Aaron, like these you end up getting a felony charge for this revenge porn case. I would think maybe like April, your ex-wife who you trash, exposes things that you don't want out there. Your other ex-wife who has custody of your children, maybe she does something to prohibit you from seeing them. These would all be elements of what I could imagine being the worst case scenario for Aaron Imholte. But let's hear him lay out the worst imaginable. This is going to be so dark and twisted that you guys won't even be able to fathom it. This is just sick what we're about to play right here.
All I wanted to do, I was like, worst case scenario today, we're going to have a slow day and we'll be 200 behind for Wednesday morning at the end of the day. And not even close. Not even close.
This is worst case scenario. They're 250 away. Oh my God. Aaron thought they were going to make $50 more. Can you imagine the hell this man is living in?
Life-changing.
I thought worst case scenario would be 200 away from tomorrow's goal. But God, the horror that I have stepped into. We're 250 away from tomorrow's goal. And that is a hell I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. I bet Aaron, when he fantasizes about all the horrible things that could happen to Patrick Melton, and Aaron hates Patrick Melton. Let's just, cut to the core of it. He hates that guy. But I bet even Aaron, when he's thinking of Patrick Melton, he's like, well, I hope he's at least within $200 of what he needs to make in a day. I'm not that twisted to wish something like that on him. I hope he's at least within $200 of making enough money to survive through tomorrow.
The nice thing is, like, I guess now no show on. It looks like it's pretty far reach to say that we're going to have a show on Thursday morning. So I might get myself a nice little extra day off. Historically White says he's pouting. You're goddamn right I'm pouting. Fucking got up early, did a great show, didn't make dick. Like I said, I don't do this for fun.
You made $50. $50 worth of strangers said, "Here's my money," and you have no appreciation. Do a show for those people. You know what I mean? Like if you have 8 fucking people in the chat, do a show for them. Or stop doing shows. Those are your options. I get the idea that Aaron needs to make a living. I totally get that. I'm in the same boat. We wouldn't be able to broadcast as much if we didn't make a living doing it. That's just a fact of how time works. But once you're doing a show, once you're on the air, you're saying, I've blocked off this amount of time to do a show. So do it. Do it for one person that's giving it to you, one person that's watching you for free. Whoever is watching you, that's who you're doing the show for. You're not doing a show for some mystery benefactor that might show up and go, well, my, oh my, Aaron Imholte is broadcasting. Well, here's $250 as we've agreed upon. That's not how it works.
And even if that is how it works, then tomorrow you got to start that whole process.
Be grateful for that tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if there's a day where we didn't make dick, yeah, of course I'm going to pout. I got up at 5 a.m. If you would have said, Aaron, no matter what happens today, no matter how good of a show you do, no matter how funny you are, and you were hilarious, if you would have
It hurt me to hear that.
said, you're going to make $50 today, I would have said, just shut off my alarm. That's fine. I'm good.
That's how you view your show?
Do you know the high-fiving and celebration Electra and I do when we make $50 a show? We're like, oh my God, that happened? How does that happen?
And do it for those people that are nice enough to give you $50. It's crazy to say out loud to your audience. By the way, thinking it is kind of shitty. But saying, oh, if you told me these assholes would only give me $50 today, I just would have stayed in bed. Saying that to these people and then them watching you again tomorrow is mind-boggling. I can't get my head around why these people are like, yeah, Aaron, here's my money. I respect what you're doing.
It's the same reason people live in the cold, Mike. They're sadomasochists.
And to be very clear, I just want to get this out there too. Because like Aaron could hear what we're saying and be like, they're all jealous that I'm making money. Aaron, I would hate if the goal went away from my life, I'd hate it. Guys, keep paying him in whatever weird ways you want. As long as it makes this, like this was such a bizarre week of him begging that I said we have to do a whole show on it Sunday. That's how crazy this was to me.
And he doesn't react to these ever, so I'm sure we're just going to totally forget about this going forward.
Right.
Nothing will happen.
I'm good. We'll just try. Because like honestly, like moving tomorrow morning's goal from 3 to 250, like we could have done that in the evening show.
Yeah.
I
You
could
might.
have just slept longer.
You still might.
So yes,
You
if
have to
we
do the evening show now, you jackass.
It's a lot. It's the most money talk I think I've ever heard about something he's a success at. Today's a success.
Is there any other? What's a comparison?
I've been thinking in sports, but there really is.
No, but is there any other thing? Is there any other show of any kind, excluding literal telethons, like when PBS is like, we got to keep the lights on here, excluding literal telethons, excluding is what I meant to say. Sorry. Is there a show that talks this much about the money they make? Even shows like I think of Come Town, where they started making life-changing money at a time where that was crazy for them. They didn't spend this much time talking about money. Or like Bert and Tom, Segura and Kreischer get a lot of shit for talking about their money in a way where it's like, hey, I just bought this jet ski. And there's no content. It's just them bragging about buying a jet ski. Even they don't talk about their money this much.
Now, this is Sirasani level.
I can't think of a... Sirasani's a good example. That's okay. Yes, the closest we can get, that's a good example, Casey. The closest we can get is literally an influencer whose goal is to tell you how to make money. Mm-hmm. So yes, that's the closest we could come up with, is a literal financial and gambling influencer.
A scammer, Mike. We found a scammer, and that's right next to Aaron.
Yeah.
Aaron, you might be a scammer. Just
If we don't rally up, I am going to feel like I kind of wasted my time a little bit. So if you want to say that's pouting, then yes, I'm fucking pouting like crazy.
Pouch to
shithead.
mama too. Yeah.
What an utter
win-
shithead.
Window closing. Like the window's closing.
All right, listen, I can call Aaron a shithead all day, but at the end of the day, I yearn for the goal. I yearn for pleasing the gold gods. I want to keep the beggy monster off my back. So we can have a laugh, but this window is closing, and we got to stay ahead of this fucking thing. So hurry up, throw your PayPals and your Venmos, because we got a fucking thing to hit here.
Going on today.
Kind of a thing. 2:45 away from tomorrow morning. If we don't knock that out by the end of the day today, the Thursday show is unfortunately
started to remember me.
off the table because, well, not technically, because the morning show audience the next day could hammer out both of them.
Yes, do these
The
calculations,
morning
Aaron.
and the evening.
You
As
thought you
long-
could take a break from me forever, didn't you? Oh, Aaron, you may have gotten to Tuesday, but there's always going to be begging around the corner.
as
how I
the
did the voice? I don't even
evening
remember.
It's very close.
I
yes.
only hear the super chat one, which sounds nothing like that. So that's how I think of the begging monster now.
It is sounding more like you're doing an impression of an impression now.
Yeah,
I like
okay,
it.
that's what I thought.
show Wednesday is knocked out before the start of the evening show Wednesday.
Oh, we got to
The
go
Thursday
back.
show is
I talked over the stupid begging monster got in my way. We got to hear all the rules. Now there's new rules. I love when rules are implemented at the end of the show. We heard the rules at the beginning of the show. Now, how do we stay alive here at the end of the show with new rules?
because the morning show audience the next day could hammer out both of them.
Okay.
Right.
The morning and the evening. As long
Johnny
as
says
the
right.
evening,
Like what the man next to him is saying is totally logical. Right. Of course. No, I understand. But thank you for explaining. Of course.
Johnny's got his abacus out. Checks out. Yep.
I don't know. Boston is in Massachusetts and Philadelphia isn't. But this I understand.
Yep. New York, Massachusetts. And how much do we need for our goal? All right. Let's do this.
evening show Wednesday is knocked out before the start of the evening show Wednesday, the Thursday show is still on the table. So,
so
if you
lost.
guys want to do your part,
I'll
Throw in
explain
a couple-
you for you idiots like Casey Day. The morning show we still have. So the evening show tonight, Tuesday. We're living in Tuesday world. Tonight, the evening show could knock out the goal. Tomorrow morning, if we don't knock out that goal, that morning show could knock out 2 goals.
Oh.
Why? I don't really know. But they could. And if they knock out 2 goals, then we get a Thursday show. Oh, I guess because there'd be an evening show on Wednesday. I think that's why.
Mm.
Isn't it No Bag Wednesday or something?
Well, I think that's gone. If that ever existed, it's gone long out the window.
Oh, okay.
Don't
Yeah.
remind. Yeah.
couple of bucks here in the next 10 minutes, and then I won't feel like it was a total waste of time.
Waste of time.
How many times does he
Total
say that?
waste of time. Listen, there's most episodes of this show that I did, particularly like Why Are You Laughing? The first, I would say, I don't know, 50 episodes I made no money on. I do not think they were a waste of time because I think the people that watched them hopefully enjoyed them. And it also built up kind of a reputation and a catalog. And now people can go back and watch episodes and say, oh, I like that one, or I didn't like this one, or they've gotten a lot better, or they actually do this worse, or whatever. Like it's built up a thing that now people that like the new episodes can go back and look at. So the idea to call it a waste of time because people you only gave you $50 is so delusional to me. And again, you could say, oh, well, Aaron is one of the greatest broadcasters of all time. Mike's thinking small potatoes. Aaron thinks like one of the great broadcasters ever. Our channels are the same size. And I don't have to think like that to make ends meet the way Aaron does.
I think it's just actually Aaron being honest about his content, right? Yes. Why are you
It's
laughing?
just a waste. Yeah.
Yeah, it is awesome. You can watch it years from now,
Right.
decades from now. It'll hold up. His nonsense doesn't hold up to the next minute because
Right.
it's just talking
'cause
about the
there's-
minute prior.
Yeah, because I'm doing show prep. So I think the waste to me would be to waste the prep that I've done and
Exactly.
not talk about it.
Exactly.
But Aaron's like, this has just been a colossal waste of time, me doing a show. Because he puts no value on the product he does. It's just whatever money it makes. If Aaron farted into a microphone for 4.5 hours, and it was just silence and farting for that 4.5 hours, and it made $1,000 that day, And then the next day, Aaron went on to do like something people are really talking about, like something great. You know, he calls out some politician and it's getting a lot of buzz and making national news. But there's $0 equated to that episode. It made no money. Aaron would look at the farting into the microphone as his masterpiece.
Yes.
And say, that's what I should continue doing. And that's what's crazy to me about this man. And also fascinating.
Last chance.
All right, I'm starting to get a little nervous here. Butterflies in the tummy. This is the last chance. We better make this count here.
I mean, we've already hit the goal. We're good. This is for tomorrow's.
Yeah, but not really, though, if you think about it.
That's
Think about the people living in tomorrow's world and how they're suffering.
And you can't trust these goddamn night people, man. So, yeah, I get
That's the other thing.
Was part of it. Thank you very much to Doggo Doesn't Die with $20. Says, Aaron, I love doing these shows. Also, Aaron, I don't do this for fun. No, that makes sense, doesn't it?
No.
You love what you do, but the motivation is beyond just the love.
Yeah, it's more than just I do it for, like, I wouldn't get up at 5 in the morning for fun.
Then don't. No one's asking you to do that. There's nothing that suggests. First of all, the evening show stomps the morning show every day. We always hear about how great the evening show is. So there's literally nothing that suggests you getting up at 5 a.m. is of any value to you. In fact, like, based on the internet, maybe you should start at 8 when people start their workday so they could listen at the office. You know what I mean? Like, maybe it would be better for you to start later in the day. There's nothing that proves a 6 a.m. call time is what you need to do. But also, like, yes, I get the idea that you are in a way motivated by money. But you can't just not do a show and be like, why aren't people paying me for this in hopes that I do a show someday? That isn't how it works. How do I need to explain it to this man to get through to him?
Like, I wouldn't get up and do this show at the time the audience has become accustomed to for fun. Doing the show is hilarious fun. I love doing. I can't think of a better way to spend 4 hours in the morning. I'm saying it's not.
And you're making a living doing it. So what's the issue?
New roofs are expensive, Mike. And so, you got to get ahead on these bills.
Don't I know it? That's why people should be paying me.
Man, we got to.
Are we at 600,000 yet?
Close.
All right, good. Keep them coming.
It's not like the same reason I go golfing. Put it that way. I
was in the pool.
I've become good enough for people to give me money to do the show.
Okay, well, Aaron, let me ask you this: let's go with this golf analogy. Do you go to the clubhouse and go like, I might shoot over 100 today unless you guys give me money? And then people go, oh, well, I'd like to see you try and break 90, Aaron. That's what I would like. So here's $20. Now go really try out there on the golf course and also give me a stone cold drop. What do you say? Like, that's not how it works. You try, I imagine you try to do well while you're golfing. And it happens to be that no one is paying you for it, but you get the enjoyment out of the trying aspect. And that's what you've forgotten with your dumb show.
I enjoy doing, put it that way. Hey, guess what that put it at?
2:30.
2:30.
Hey.
That's right. 2:30.
Dreams come true.
For tomorrow morning's goal. If
Guilted them
we've
into
got
$20.
3 minutes left. If you'd like to
It's not enough, Mike. We have 3 minutes left.
leave it at 2:30, I'm fine with that too. I did say
It is true, because sometimes you do that where it's like, I don't know. Do you remember ever realizing in your life, like the point, maybe you were a kid, where you realized like how long 30 seconds actually is? Like how much could get done in 30 seconds,
Mm-hmm.
But you particularly notice that on podcasting, where it's like, wow, I could actually say a lot of words in 30 seconds. Imagine how much money you could give. The number is really limitless. As long as your bank account is infinite, the number is really limitless on what you could give in 3 minutes. You could give all of your money in that amount of time. So Aaron is right in the sense that like 3 minutes is plenty of time for you to give as much money as you can dream of.
I saw 10,000 Bitcoin transferred in like under 30 seconds.
There you go.
So,
Perfect.
yeah.
So guys, give all your Bitcoin to Aaron. You've got the perfect amount of time to do it.
under 200 today, I would consider today's show a smashing success.
We're close.
But we're at 2:30.
You just said it was abysmal failure. This was
He shouldn't have woke up today. I'm confused.
20 minutes ago. He was like, I shouldn't have woke up. I shouldn't have gotten out of bed. And now he's like, hey, we could make this show a smashing success with $30. $30. $30 is what has that switch. It's amazing what can happen with $30, where you go from abysmal failure to smashing success with three $10 bills.
Yeah, it's like, do we call it lying or gaslighting at this point? Because he just changes his point of view from every second to second.
I think it is. Aaron is manipulative. There's a thing where we always talk with like John and other people where it's like, does he believe his own bullshit? And a lot of them are delusional enough to believe that. Like, to a degree, I think like Woke Dad believes some of his own shit, even though he's making up stories seemingly out of thin air.
Right.
But I believe he thinks he's all the things he claims. He believes he's a great dad and a champion of equality and things like that. I don't think Aaron believes his own shit. I think like he's
so
a
bad
bitch
at
man.
it. He's so bad at it too. He's really not good at it. I've met many a psychopath that are really good manipulators. This one is not one of them.
I'll bet he was a great salesman, which is really the irony of this is like, just sell ads for your show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. By the way,
But,
Woke Dad, one of the greatest grifters of all time, too.
But I believe like Aaron's actually a good salesman, but just a sociopath as a person.
Mm-hmm.
I could see myself buying a used Toyota from Aaron, 100%.
Right, if I don't know this guy, if I've never seen SteelToe or anything, and you just walk into a store and he's selling you something, I could see myself falling into his trap, and that's what manipulative people do.
And if we can't be at 200 and we have to be anywhere, I would love to be at 230. So we put $80 on the board this morning on a day where we're ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Why couldn't you have seen that from the beginning, Aaron? Like, it's again what $30 does. 50 was dog shit. 80 is sunshine and rainbows. 80 is optimism on the other side of that fence. 80 is hope. 50 was a bullshit number that should be erased from our numerology system.
I mean, at least he tells you with the exact dollar amount where he is at all times.
Maybe speaking of Who Are These Socials, Thursdays at 6 on the Who Are These Podcast channel, maybe he's like a GG33 guy, where like 50 means disaster and 80 means serenity or something.
I think you got it there. What a crossover that would be. GG33 and Aaron. Now
Wow,
you're on...
GG33 breaking down the goal with Aaron?
Yes.
We've got to see that happen. That's good.
We're now to the next day, 7/2/25.
Holy shit. We only have one clip from this, right?
One longer one and then three shorter.
Damn it. Now I'm doing what Aaron does. I actually hoped we were almost done.
8 minutes.
People, if you keep giving, speaking of which, we should probably get through some of these super
Oh yeah,
chats.
I'll only watch these clips if you guys super chat me. Otherwise I'll go home and enjoy my fucking day. I don't like doing this at all, so.
We shouldn't even woke up for this.
Yeah.
The Toy Kiss Cane Sword, $10. I would gladly pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today. Imholte is a modern day wimpy and a cum eater.
Mm-hmm. Oh, sure. Thank you.
Yep. Dang Lizard, €2. I'll gladly pay for Tuesday for a good show today.
Dang Lizard, I don't know if $2. Listen, I'm not saying we're the most popular show, but for a plug, saying Dang Lizard is a YouTube channel that clips other shows that you should go check out, that's worth a little more than $2, wouldn't you say, Dang Lizard?
Well, it's €2,
son of a
so it
bitch?
is worth more than $2. You know.
Right, that's about what we're worth. That's fine.
Okay.
I'll allow it.
All right. I Come Buckets, $2. Please show Toe's high school pic on Ethan Ralph X, which I think I found. It's in the back, Casey.
Okay.
I Come Buckets scratching and clawing away. He broke into his child's piggy bank, I think he said last time. And so I appreciate that, but you can never give too much here on the Blind Mike Project.
Pootlerific, $1.99. No one acknowledges Casey sounds like Joe List.
You do? I don't hear that at all.
So is
He's
this
funny.
Aaron here?
Yeah, so we are.
People
now
also say
showing-
Craig sounds like Bobby Kelly, but I think it's just the Boston accent.
I don't.
I
don't
didn't
know.
mean. I didn't mean to silence the room with that.
I don't know Bobby Kelly either.
Go on. Go ahead, Alec.
We're all looking at a picture now of Aaron in high school, and it's Mike. You really, man, you're missing out on this. He's about 300 pounds. I didn't
He
know
looks
he
like
was.
a blueberry.
Was he really?
I didn't know
Yeah.
he was a fatty.
Oh, good
yeah,
for him.
he was- yeah, that's
And he's lost weight. I mean.
It's an interesting side note. He does sort of have a kind of a fat man jolliness to him now that I can kind of see. Yeah. All right. Next one here. Boom.
Micah Mills,
I don't know why we had to
$4.99.
fat shame the man. There's so many other things about him, but
No, right, exactly. Please be happy now that I'm getting you into next week's goal. Get super tip. Don't use voices.
I don't know. I don't know if I'm happy yet. I need to see a few more donations, but I'll think. How about this? If we hit our goal of $600,000 and then get an extra $50,000 on top of that, I'll join Super Tips. And by the way, obviously that's a joke, but that is what Aaron is doing in a way, where he's like, "Yeah, I'll do things to better the show if you guys pay me for it." It's like, no, the other way around, Aaron. If you better the show, hopefully they'll pay you for doing so.
And I've said this multiple times. Why are you guys not buttering up Kragers and I? Who do you think's gonna run this Super Tips? You think Mike's running the Super Tips? Go on.
Right. Exactly.
Butter our beaks, and we might talk him into it.
Butter our beaks.
Detroit Dabbler, $1.99. For the goal. Can I get a yeehaw? Makes it all worth it.
Can we get
thank
a
you.
live yeehaw?
Give me
Yeehaw! Oh, Mike does it so much better.
Thanks.
Strangeland 77, $1.99. Thanks, Blind Mike and crew. Awesome job.
Thanks, Strangeland 77.
You're welcome.
Ray Purbutt, $4.99. His appreciation for his audience reaches as high as Krusty the Clown's.
Yes. Yeah, there's a little bit of that.
Mm-hmm. That's good. Good one. Good pull.
Running out the clock.
Detroit Dabbler, $1.99. Radio Mount Rushmore. Howard, Bennington, Ant, and Blind Mike.
Wow. But so what Aaron is if I was like, yeah, I mean, I might cut Bennington off of that list, but yeah, I think you've got it. That's how Aaron thinks. It's so crazy.
Does. Ratstar, $1.99. Never super chatted, but I gotta help the goal.
It's about time. And we'll also accept back pay for you being here and greedily accepting content without paying.
Interest as well, please.
Nice. Flatbush Tommy for $5. I could see Aaron teaming up with a CBD company named Pure Spectrum.
Yes. Yeah, I think Aaron is being paid for social media posts that he's not doing right now.
It stops when it dings, Mike. Yeah. All right. First one here is called Reverse Psychology.
I mean, we've hinted that Aaron might be manipulative. Tell me if you think that this is a little. I mean, I guess you almost have to give him credit that it's so on the nose that it's like, I guess he's got to be doing it on purpose. But like, this is how I blame the audience for this. Everything else so far, I've blamed Aaron. This, I guess I just blame the audience for feeding into whatever the fuck this is. But yeah, he's using a little reverse psychology here. He's got to do something. So, just for chronological purposes here, he ends that Tuesday show. They're like $230 down or whatever. And then we get to the evening show, which is a members-only show. So I couldn't clip, thank God. Imagine how much longer we'd be here if I could clip that. But he made it members-only. I don't know what happened to that members-only show, but they got it very close to knocking out the rest of the week's goal. So that's where we pick up here on Wednesday morning.
This 4th of July week is killing me a little bit, though.
Why?
It's do a show, go to the lake, have a good time with the kids, come back from the lake, do a show, hang out with SP, wake up, do a show, and then I'll go to the lake again.
Oh.
Hang out with
Well,
the
let me
kids.
clear something up for you, Aaron. We're not responsible for your time management. Maybe that was unclear. I guess YouTube's terms of service doesn't specify that. So when you started a show on the internet, maybe you didn't realize we're not responsible for how you delegate your time. So either come up with a solution, have a broadcasting setup at your lake house or whatever the fuck you have out there, or say, hey guys, I'm going to the lake to spend time with my kids, so I'm not broadcasting. But to blame us and somehow hold us responsible for your driving miles because you drove back and forth between your two homes to broadcast, that is not my fault. And I don't owe you money for having to do that. Now, again, could someone, like, if I rush home Sunday and I'm like, the people needed a show. I took a bus from New Jersey to get here because there's something I needed to talk about so badly. And I needed to talk about it at our agreed upon time, Sundays at 10 a.m. If someone in the chat said, hey, Mike, I appreciate you doing that. Glad we're having a show. Here's $20. That's awesome. Thank you for doing so. Aaron says to those people, you owe me this money because I did something that we never agreed to me doing. To me, that's such a, like, Aaron always tries to throw this out like, oh, all these channels, if they make money on podcasting, they're all begging. It's like, no, not really. Some people just have a business model in place that sustains them.
Or no business model at all, and just
It does it for the love of the game. Yeah. But I respect that a hell of a lot more than what Aaron's doing.
It's come back, do a show. I did make a promise, and I always keep my show promises.
Okay.
I did say that if you guys finished the week ahead, meaning if the morning knocks out the evening tonight, I would do a Rumble Friday, Thursday show.
Just call it a Rumble Thursday show, you jackass. Rumble Friday is not synonymous with anything. It doesn't mean anything. Just say a Rumble Thursday show.
Also, making the distinction that you don't lie on air sort of means that you do lie off air. You don't have to mention that. It makes me think.
Also, that's not even true. Yeah. I always do everything I say I'm going to do. Hey, guys, say whatever you want about Nick Rekieta. I'm going to block everyone that mentions Nick Rekieta. Like, there's plenty of examples of Aaron not being truthful to that, but
clear the road.
I am regretting the shit out of saying that, but I'm a man of my word, and I will do it. Now, you morning people are fun. I am expecting our smallest audience of the week today, because, and I'm hoping for the smallest audience of the week today.
This is what I'm talking when I say manipulative.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, I think the people that don't like Aaron, they can see right through it. But I guess maybe the people that like Aaron are fooled by it, where he's about to launch into this diatribe where he's like, guys, I hope you're taking some time for yourself, you know? Don't be here with little old me. I'll be all right. I hope this is our smallest audience. It's so disingenuous and clearly fake. And this is what I mean when I say he's a sitcom character, where if you were trying to get the message across to everybody watching that this person is a phony and a fraud, you would have them act like Aaron Imholte. I don't know who it's fooling, but it ain't fooling me.
Holiday week. You guys should be out there enjoying it. You should be with your families. You should be with your children. You can always watch this later.
Yeah, I think everyone knew that. No one was like, shit, I guess he's right. I guess, honey, I'll be right out to play with the kids. Aaron says I'm dismissed.
Fall asleep to when you're shit-faced hammered this weekend. You can always watch this later. But I'm expecting this to be the smallest number of the week. Smallest number in months, I hope. Because, again, holiday week, I want you guys out there enjoying it. But we have this little matter.
Why do a show? If you're like, I want you guys outside. Stop being in here with me. Go out and enjoy yourselves. Return to your families. There's a great Bob Sosi, Casey, is the Patriots radio play-by-play guy.
Okay.
And there's a great... before I was ever on Kirk's show, he made fun of this article where Bob Sosi did an interview. And this is like during the Patriots' reign where they were dominant. And he's like, there's something nice about the off season because I can finally return to my family. And every year, I bet you could find that I tweet about that every year. Whenever the Patriots are eliminated, I always tweet, at least Bob Sosi can return to his family now. I think about that all the time. And that's what SteelToe fans are like, where Aaron has to say to them, guys, it's okay. Go back outside. Return to your families. And, fucking Gray Duckling and Mussolini Diff are like, are you sure, Aaron? Are you sure you don't need us? And he's like, please, go. I'll suffer in here for you. You can watch this later. Go without me. And they're like, I'll go outside, Aaron, but I'll never forget what you've done here. And he's like, that's not why I do it. I do it for you, your families, for your kids, so they can remember playing catch with Dad on the 4th of July. Just go, save yourselves. I'll suffer for you. My kids won't have their dad around. Because I need you to experience a family life. I'm suffering for you people.
Go out with your family. I'm here for the infirmed grandmas in the house.
Yeah.
So they can't
So I
get out
guess
from under-
Aaron is doing this show in hopes that everyone is outside, but he knows you need something. You can't just watch old Norm Macdonald clips, like I do, when I'm going to sleep shit-faced. You need SteelToe in order to do that. You have a very specific palate, and you need SteelToe to cleanse it when you come home drunk on the 4th of July and need to fall asleep. And so Aaron's providing that.
Of $100 away from tomorrow night's goal, meaning if we make $100 this morning, we will have never had a goal. There will have been no goals on any shows.
What is any of this? What do you mean we've never had a goal? I use this analogy a lot, but with Aaron, but it always reminds me of the end of Shutter Island, when you're like, none of this was real. What the fuck?
He's just a patient. What? Spoiler.
I don't understand it.
And there were no goals after Wednesday last week. So there, and
this
the
is where
week
you
before
start
that,
thinking you're like, but I swear I heard him talk about the goal. And then you go back. This is where you look at your bank statement, and the charge to Venmo is disappearing.
Charge.
I didn't even do that on purpose. You're looking at your bank statement, and your Venmo and Google Play charges are slowly disappearing. And you're like, my God, is there? No, the goal is going away. Has there ever been a goal? What's happening to me? Did I ever exist?
It's like in that movie with Michael J. Fox when he's got his parents'
Back to the
picture.
Future. That's what I was referencing. Yeah.
They're disappearing in front of him.
I appreciate you hitting on the nail on the head, but I feel like I got there.
I was just helping. I was, that extra 3 feet for the infirm grandmothers.
That we had no goals on. So it would be 3 weeks of essentially goal-free SteelToe.
No, we just listened.
What?
But we listened to all the goal talk. Did any of that just happen?
No.
People in the chat, tell me what day it is. Send a picture of yourselves holding up today's newspaper.
So is he saying it's been 3 weeks of no goal talk already? Or he's going to go forward 3 weeks?
He's saying, I believe, it's a good question, Electra, and I'll try and explain it the best I can, but I'm not sure I'm right.
All right.
I believe what he's saying is if we pay him $100 more, we've got $100 left in the goal. And if we give him $100 right now, then the goal, hey, that thing we were talking about never happened. You know? And then we all go, what never happened? And it's an agreement between two parties. Like, we forget this whole messy goal business ever happened. It didn't happen. What are we even talking about? Nothing. Because the goal didn't happen. I guess that's what he's saying, is that there was no goal. I didn't spend the entire day pouting yesterday because we couldn't hit our future goal. It never existed.
Just wow.
This was the wildest. This is when I decided, when I got to Wednesday, this is when I decided this is all we're doing on Sunday.
I can see
when I heard him say the goal never existed, I looked for a mirror. Yeah. I thought, who am I even? What is any of this?
He forgot to do that thing in like Men in Black where he neuralizes our brains before we forget. He just told us to forget. You got to neuralize us first.
I had my girlfriend smack me. I said, am I real?
Right?
Does this hurt? Am I feeling it?
Oh, man.
There, and the week before that, we had no goals on. So it would be 3 weeks of essentially goal-free SteelToe. And I love goal-free.
How can that be? I'm not going to be able to get past that clip. It just doesn't make any sense.
So he means successful goals, but he's saying no goals, right? So
he's saying goal-free, like there was no goals.
But they were successful. We've been successful for 3 weeks.
But how could we have hit a goal
that wasn't there?
So that erases all the work that we did? All the hard work that we did?
Wait,
he doesn't have to pay taxes on this money now. I get what he's doing. It didn't
This is
exist.
like, well,
no taxes.
This is like the Jimmy Fund is a cancer charity here in Boston. And this is like if they discovered the cure for cancer, if people's hard-earned money finally, at long last, they discover the cure for cancer. And then the news is not, hey, we discovered the cure for cancer. The Jimmy Fund just comes out and goes, what cancer?
Cancer never existed.
What donation?
Never happened.
What are you talking about? We never had. And you're like, no, but I gave a bunch of money over the years. I raised money. I got my family involved. We did a walk-a-thon one year. I swear I gave my. And the Jimmy Fund's like, no. Never happened, dickhead. You didn't give any money. There was no cancer goal. It never existed.
Yeah, that is insane. All right.
SteelToe, I'm having a blast. I love starting off shows nice and slow like this. I love the pacing of a real show. You know, it's very conversational at the beginning. We're dicking around a little bit, just kind of fumbling around in the dark, finding that thread we want to pull at. I enjoy that. That's old school.
The goal is a Mandela effect, Mike. You may think the goal exists, but it never did.
No, he says, Luke, I'm your father, doesn't he?
No.
I swear he does.
And there is no basket with the fruit of the loom. It's just fruit, Mike. Just fruit.
Radio pacing.
Hold on, Aaron.
That's
This is what he does. And it's so puzzling to me, where he's like, you know, the perfect episode of SteelToe when we just start the show and we're talking, and it's me and Johnny, or it's me in the chat, and we're talking about stuff, and we're just zinging and zanging, and we're having a good time. That's the best show. That's the best version of SteelToe. Aaron, you are in, and hear me when I say this, 100% control of that. Do the show you want to do. If you're saying this is the best version of SteelToe, well, we don't have to talk about the goal. Do that. As a great man and a friend of mine once said, just do it. It's totally within your power to do that every day. But he's acting like, God, I hate it when we have to talk about this goal. Save me of that. Rid me of that burden.
my favorite. I enjoy it.
victim.
So these last 3 weeks have been ridiculously fun for me. However,
He didn't want to get out of bed.
you guys,
I swear I remember him saying that. Hold on. Try an interesting experiment, gang. Rewind to the part where we played those clips where he's like, I didn't even want to get out of bed this morning. And see if anything plays, or if it's just a blank screen, or if it's us reacting to nothing. Like it's just silence and then us going, you believe that? Like just nothing happens.
Yeah, it's just John Cena in the picture. That's it.
we made like 300 some last night, but we only made like 80 or 90 bucks on the morning show yesterday. And while I was kind of bummed and that killed our
Well,
momentum
he's still
yesterday,
scolding them for that.
It roasted him. That 80 like.
Even the blessings that the evening show gives don't wipe away the sins of the morning show.
day. If I may say something Weasley,
Oh,
kind of
please.
counting on you guys to bring that same vibe today.
I get it. Do you get that, Casey? Do you get what's happening?
Not most of the time.
He's saying, I don't want to hit the goal today. We're $100 away. So if you guys only give $80 or $90, I don't have to do a show tomorrow. Wouldn't that be funny if you guys did something that would hinder my life? Wouldn't it be funny if you made me do a show tomorrow? This is the reverse psychology coming in. Where then these fucking retards that don't get it, I guess, that like think Aaron's. I still haven't quite pieced that together and figured out what these people think. But they're like, oh, Aaron's gonna be so pissed when we give him $90 and he's got to do a show tomorrow. Like when Patrick described Patrick Melton, when he described the guy that owns Stoney's, he did it in such a way where I was like, okay, I'm starting to get a picture of who these SteelToe fans are. Like I kind of have an idea, and I don't think they get subtlety. And Aaron is preying upon that personality trait.
I'm actually kind of counting the same thing you kind of caught shit for yesterday. You're going to get a lot of heaping amount of praise for today because we are at a point now where we're going to hit. Like, it's going to be a perfect week for the toe again. But if it's a perfect week for the toe in these next 4 hours, I have to do a show tomorrow. And it's a Rumble Friday show, so it'll be nice and easy.
Wait. They're going to hit no matter what. But if he doesn't hit it today, he doesn't have to do a show tomorrow.
Because overall, they have the money.
Well, they have the evening show.
Yeah.
Yes, they have another evening show. So they're going to hit it in the evening. We know how that evening crew is. They're going to fucking smash that goal. But if they don't hit it in the morning, he doesn't owe them a show. And Aaron's saying, like, whoa, that'd be pretty crazy if you guys made me come back here tomorrow. I hope you don't do that. And they're like, oh, Aaron, we'll show you.
If you guys pull another $80 stunt like you did yesterday, I'm free and clear for tomorrow. The evening show's going to take care of the 20 or 30 or whatever. And I can get I can do an 8 o'clock tea time if I want to. Fuck. I can do an 8 o'clock tea time. And if I wanted to, I could play 36. I mean, nothing's stopping me. Wow. I think SP and I are going to hang out. I think SP's got
So am I to understand? I guess this is like, but there's no other party here, so it makes it a little more difficult. But I guess this is when Craig is like, hey, give money to the goal. And I'm like, no, really, they don't do that. And I'm being serious, but Craig knows it like makes me uncomfortable. I guess this is like that, but Aaron's the only one there.
Yes.
So there's no straight man. You know what I mean?
Well, he's his own co-host, so he's doing the straight.
Oh, I don't know about that, Aaron. Aaron, but we got to hit this goal. I don't know, Aaron. It'd be pretty great to play a round of golf tomorrow. I could even get 36 in. But Aaron, don't you want to hit the goal? Wouldn't be nice to have a day off, wouldn't it, Aaron? I know, Aaron, but the people need a show. It'd be great to do this show, Aaron.
It's like summer stock. Put a little hat on when you do one of the voices, Aaron. Let us know physically.
Yeah, right.
That you're...
So
it costs like $100 to do a round of golf or something, or is that just fancy courses?
I mean, I guess it depends on where you play. No,
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
guess
it
it
could be a lot more than $100. But
Right.
Public
So people are just paying for his golf habit too. By the way, that he just talks about I was golfing every day.
yeah, give me that $90 and I'll play a round tomorrow.
Yay.
That's what tends to happen with business. Your business pays you, and then you go do fun things. So you take that money from business and you go do fun things. You know, I mean,
we're going to do Joetown Rocks and then the cabin the rest of the weekend. But I love you guys. You're incredible, and you're amazingly supportive. And while I gave you shit yesterday, I said, come on, guys, we made like $90. You guys make $90 today, you're the sweet spot. You're the absolute best. Now, I also
Aaron's
know
saying, okay, guilting them into giving me the money isn't working. What if I was like, hey, don't give me any money? And then they'll be like, I'll show you, Aaron. Huh? What's good for the goose is good for the gander here.
His listeners really are idiots, or he thinks they're just giant.
I'd love to know who gave to I know there's just people that are giving money to have him read something stupid or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Who gave to that? When you hear him do this, who gave money? Because we're about to hear the rally of a lifetime.
My audience well enough to know I may have just put a target on my back. I may have just fucked myself. But, when, 2 years ago to a year and a half ago, I would have murdered a small animal in front of my entire neighborhood to be in the position we're in now.
All right, mark that one down for the judge.
What?
Let's see, that's 30 hours. And 15 minutes.
What does it even mean, though?
Oh, no, that does not look good, though.
I would have murdered a small animal to be $80 away from the goal?
Mm-hmm.
That's, Aaron, I don't think you're far enough away from that perspective to start bragging about it.
Yes.
Where he's like, hey, when I was 37, I would start murdering kittens to be $80 away from the goal. But now I'm a little more mature at age 38.
God damn, this guy.
Where there's no goals and we're like, you guys don't have to throw your life savings at this fucking show. I would have killed a while back to be in that position. Had to make sure that was the cap to the Sharpie and not dog shit. So that's the show for
Sides are always so
today.
funny.
I appreciate you guys. I know you'll come in big for me. I know you'll do exactly what I need.
How's this show
from
longer
you.
than our
It's a win.
What's this asshole done to me?
It's we're not far from being over here.
All right.
Win.
We gotta see what happens with Rumble Friday.
You just watch the show for free. Nobody rattles a tin cup at you, which is kind of the way it's been for 3 weeks. But now there's aggressively no tin cup being shaken at you. It's actually being withheld from you. I see this as an absolute win for everyone.
No, I'm pretty sure we can
Surprising.
get to that.
Aaron is one. That's crazy.
We could find that Tim Cup if we need to. He's not hiding it. Come on. We're here, Rumble Friday style.
Oh, it's Rumble Friday, everybody. On a Thursday. Or a Wednesday.
Wednesday
No, it's Wednesday. It's Wednesday, and we're already at Rumble Friday. This week has flown by.
I get it because I'm fat and I'm mailing it in today. I understand. You know, we should technically just make this a Rumble Friday show too. Because I have my head so in the clouds, and you are going to get such a mailed in version of this program today.
Why do it? Who is this for?
Why say it? Just pretend. I mean, if you're gonna suck, don't say it to people.
Pretend you care. I tried to mail this in today. I said we're only going to do like an hour and a half on this guy, and I'm still here.
I might mail it in every week, but I pretend I don't. That's the thing. You pretend.
Crazy.
That I almost feel like you guys might be better entertained if we just Wednesday morning, Wednesday evening, and Thursday morning, we did it all Rumble Friday style. And as we did all of those shows Rumble Friday style, we what do you call it? We just add that to Monday's goal. And
that is, I see this only I'm usually not on TikTok, but I check for like who are these socials and stuff. And I did see hashtag Rumble Friday style trending nationwide. So all the kids are talking about it. All the kids were doing it on 4th of July. It wasn't really Independence Day. It was Rumble Friday around the country this week.
It's like one of those menu items on McDonald's you have to ask for. They don't serve it. You got to ask for
Right.
Rumble Fridays.
Rumble
be the way
Friday.
to go.
Smug Aaron. We got 2 more sections here.
I don't know what's more unlikable, pouting Aaron or smug Aaron. I think actually I do know. It is smug Aaron. I'm sorry.
That's a seesaw at total balance.
Yeah.
So now we're on Monday morning, and we're at 3:10 from Monday morning.
Holy shit, we did it.
Here, Monday a.m. Holy
snuck up on
shit.
me.
So that means Rumble Friday, Thursday is all going to go towards Monday. I think we're...
Okay, that sentence is fucking...
Like I said, I'm a fan of a lot of like very inside podcasts that have their own language. But to just casually say, Rumble Friday on a Thursday is on Monday. There's no way a human being could understand that, right? It's just drivel.
I got here one more.
Rumble Friday, Thursday is all going to go towards Monday. I think we're going to start next week ahead, too. Holy shit. Packerbacker says was legit
And
hoping...
this is why we're celebrating, folks. This is why the reason we're celebrating is because Aaron has done something so great. We've chipped away at Monday's goal. So we're starting this week ahead. And what I say is, let's knock this week out now. What do you say, guys? Hit his chat tomorrow. Venmo him. Venmo him on the weekend while it's still Sunday. Give him money because that'd be so great if Aaron could do a week of free show. You know what actually would be interesting now that we're playing all these clips? If we did just fund Aaron for a year and we're now like, go ahead, now do a show. Louis C.K. used to always say this about he said there were like very bitter people in comedy that were not talented. Like they would bitch about not getting these opportunities, and he's like, but they don't even have an hour. Like they maybe have 15 minutes, and even those are bad. And yet they bitch about not getting an HBO special or something. And Louis said his dream was always to fund an HBO, get it on air, fund an HBO special for them, and say, here you go, here's your opportunity, do it. What do you got? And then they won't know what to do with themselves because they've now lost. They have the opportunity they've been begging for, and they can't do it. I would love to do that with SteelToe, where we fund the next year and go, now do a show. Do a show that is worthy of this money that we have paid you and you've begged for. Here, do it for the next year. You can't talk about the fucking goal. Now do a show.
We would need contracts, Mike. This guy's a little fishy. He might weasel out of.
Yeah. They'd stretch the goal out until the very last minute. Dude, haven't you learned with this crowd? Have you not learned with this audience? If I say, hey, guys, you know what would make my life very sweet and awesome? If you did this. They're going to do the opposite.
Well,
you would
like
think
Aaron
after 10, 12, 15, 20 years of this, I would learn that and use it to my advantage.
You do.
But I'm a big, fat, gay retard.
No. You do.
And
Yes, but...
You heavy-handedly try to do it. Where
like just fun. So clearly, to the point where it was brazen. It was like in our face to where I was like, well, certainly that won't work. But it did. So good for him, I guess.
I can't. Cheeto says, weird. Another mailed-in show. Zenman says, goal finished in 15 minutes. Beautiful. I mean, look, in a way, I'm not complaining. In a way, I'm totally complaining. Thank you very much. We got a few.
That's what I mean when I say smug Aaron is the word. He's like, ain't I the cutest? You see what I'm doing there?
Yeah, and he squishes up his face. Yeah, that's not good.
Pals to get through here. You know what I really don't want? I really don't want more contributions coming in. I think that's probably enough.
Oh,
I think
this is very subtle. Do you think he's actually asking for contributions?
I don't know, but I now need to give it to one because he doesn't want it. Now I have to.
I know.
This
works. Son of a bitch. He's got me by the balls here.
And then I'll enjoy the rest of the day knowing I got to.
Thank you to Paul for the 7. Thank you to Big Earn for 6. He says, I need show tomorrow. Well, you're getting a show tomorrow.
I need show tomorrow.
To our final Aaron clip, tweak the begging.
All right, let's just run out the clock here and listen, because I've had enough of Aaron. But no, this is where he's found a way now. After all of that we just watched, he's found a way to continue begging for money. Imagine he just knocked out the goal for the week. He's given him an extra show based on their generosity. Now listen to what he does in order to continue that and have something to talk about.
This was why I was worried about giving him a year's worth of money, Mike.
I know.
He's just
very unhealthy individual. Balls deep with $2. Says Rumble Wednesday. Let's go.
Aaron, that person is fucking with you.
Yes.
That person is not balls deep is not excited for Rumble Wednesday.
Rumble Friday, Mike, on a Wednesday. Let's
right,
get this
of course.
branding.
Let's set a number for Rumble Wednesday. What are we at? 295 for Monday morning. The minute we get to 175 for Monday, I'll do Rumble Wednesday. I'll switch this to Rumble Wednesday, and we'll do the clips and the links and all of that shit.
So there's a new goal.
A whole new goal, whole new strategy, whole new branding.
And there's a new reason to yell at them. If they don't get 175 away, there's a new reason to be like, wow, I guess I didn't have a reason to wake up this morning. Wow, I guess you guys really suck shit because we're still 160 away from Monday.
This guy will snatch victory from the arms of... How does he do this?
It's wild how he keeps moving the goalpost.
Yeah, that's it. He's moving.
If we get to 175 at 9 a.m., I'll do it at 9 a.m. If we get to 175 in 10 minutes, I'll do it in 10 minutes. I'll shut down the stream. I'll restart it as a Rumble Wednesday. Fine with me.
Imagine being excited. Like, Aaron, here's $175. I need this to change from a Wednesday and every week bullshit Wednesday to a Rumble Wednesday.
I can't believe what I just said.
Well, at least I was right in the sense that when I sent you these clips, I said this could take up an entire show. I don't have anything else prepared. We're just doing this. And if we have to bail if we have to end the show after an hour and a half, so be it. And by God, we did longer than we usually do with 5 or 6 topics. So
It's amazing. We've left Luigi in the other room just sitting
Sorry,
there.
Luigi.
No, I love it.
I
It's good.
apologize. Luigi, I accept my apology, I hope.
We have a few super chats here, and then we'll get out of here.
Polish
Let
this
everyone enjoy their day. You guys made Mike happy today. Thank you so much.
Yes, let's polish this off. Justin Trudell, 199.
Oh, God.
Hey, Mike, it's Justin. Can I just give you cash tomorrow?
Yeah, that's fine.
Hi, Justin.
It's not necessary, but I will see Justin tomorrow.
The Cope, 999. This is a good ass episode E.
I agree.
Thank you, buddy.
I love your fascination with this guy.
I can't get enough.
Hamilton Burger. Time really is a flat circle in SteelToe land.
There's no.
Flat circle is not right. We need a new figure of speech. I don't know what it would be.
An infinity gauntlet of just nothing.
Time comes and goes as we see it fit.
Goals come and go, but they're always a next one around the corner. There, you can't.
Or was there even? Let's
There
not
was
forget that the goal expired and didn't cease to exist. At
The
some
goal is always here, and it's never here.
Yes.
What we learned,
Yes,
Mike, was
exactly.
the goal is in our heart at all times. That's
Sure,
what we
if
learned.
you believe.
You have to believe. Anyway, Mike, where can people find us all?
They can find at HackRideStudios.com. And they'll be on next. I say just stick around if you're looking for Casey Day, Electra, and Luigi. Stick around. Stay right here because the chat is going to forward you over to them talking about unboxing Eric. So go check that
good
out,
time.
HackRideStudios.com, if you want to support these ragamuffins. And I would say also, if you're a Howard Stern fan, check out that saga of them breaking down Eric the actor. And blindmike.net is where you can get all my links. Wherever you find podcasts, all the links are there. You can become a member for as little as $5 a month. Like I said, I have a house to pay for, and you guys kind of owe me that money. By the way, I'm no mathematician. I did a little quick math in my head. I don't think those super chats added up to 600K. So you guys have a lot of work to do next week.
Guys, mortgage is month. So next month
Yeah.
we're going to need another one.
Hey, we're going to be back Tuesday. I expect you to pay up. I
straight.
should say that too. Tuesday night, 8 p.m., me and Kaylee from Once Over with Kaylee, or you may know her as Lucy from WATP. She will be joining me to talk about the Ethan Klein lawsuit, which she and I both find very interesting. So I'm excited to break that down with her. That's Tuesday at 8 p.m. on this channel. So check that out. And I think that's it. We'll talk to you guys later.
Thanks, Mike. Have a great rest of your weekend, everyone. Bye.
And we have a meme transition.
Hey, it's Boogie.
Sappers clear the way, everyone out there.
Now, this is very interesting. Now, really, ladies, if you're listening, and men, and everybody in between.
If I tell you you've got a homicide, buddy, you've got a homicide.
I hope to hear from you soon.
I am proud to own the Trumpy Bear, and I will always be proud to be an American.
Put it in the outro. Until then, have yourself a great day, and as always,
There's no cum on my mic.
rock on.
Stop the baloney, What kind of statement is that?
I wrote it. One of my favorite players to cover when he was here was Mike Vrabel. Tell me Mike Vrabel's story. Whatever, dude. I keep it cool at the gym.
Piss on it. Stop, my belly hurts.
My dad was in the military.
Can you please kindly F off, please?
If a person is on a bridge, threatening to jump, how do we know that he wants help?
Okay, I hope nothing bad happened.
Money, 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 money. Fuck, please.
Anyway, God bless America.
Put it in the outro.